The unfortunate traits of being backstreets born are apparent in this sinner. She loves money, gambling, and betting, so it is advised to pay close attention to her as the manager. She tends to deflect orders with an unimpressive wink or a silly joke. We recommend taking a stern stance at times to remind her that you are her superior. Her mood may be down at irregular intervals. There is nothing you can do to aid her in that state, so we recommend waiting for it to pass.
The Merceau intro is gonna be so funny. We'll get there. We'll get there in like 2 years, you know.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was distracted thinking about Merceau, and I didn't have my intro open.
Fuck. Well, it's all over. Sorry.
Hell. Can I go?
Yes.
Am I permitted?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys and all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find me at Ivy Fox Art on co-host, and you can find our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine, a Newton or Rewatch podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Joining me as always is Ash.
Hi. I'm Ash. You can find me unusually on the internet, but only for this one episode. If you go to... Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I didn't prepare this. If you go...
Listeners, I have no idea what's happening.
If you go to archiveofourown.org/users/Asherlark.
Wow. You're just gonna put your AO3 on the podcast.
I'm putting my AO3 on the podcast because I have to plug hard for this episode that I just finished writing 10,000 words about this character.
Ash did just finish writing 10,000 words about this character, yeah?
It took me a year. But all other times you can reach into the moist earth, envelop yourself, become fully buried, and then I will appear to you in your dreams.
Also at Asherlark on Ko-Fi.
Yeah, that one too.
Our theme is by Sueños Electrónicos, who you can find on Bandcamp, and our cover art is by Rygarden, who you can find on Instagram. This season, we're talking about the characters from Limbus Company, by Project Moon, a blend of cute, appealing sinners with action RPG combat. Or they describe it as like turn-based action brawls or something.
Listen, these games defy genre. Library battle simulation.
Boss battle simulation, but not like that other game.
Not like that other game.
You know the one.
I don't.
Anyway.
Okay.
Today we're talking about Rodion Raskolnikov. Did I do it right?
Rodion Raskolnikov.
Rodion. I don't know what Rodion is.
Rodion.
Because it's Rodya.
But yeah, it's Rodya or it's Rodion.
Rodion.
I mean, if I'm pronouncing Rodion incorrectly, then fuck me and fuck the rest of this podcast. We're just gonna call her Rodya.
Yeah, we're just gonna call her Rodya. Sip of
Raskolnikov.
tea. I'm very excited. You can... Wait, Ash, you... It's fine.
What?
Never mind. You forgot like half your usual plugs because you were so busy trying to remember your archive of our own URL.
You can follow the podcast on soul-mates-podcast on co-host, and you can support the podcast at Ivy Fox Art on Ko-Fi.
Also, new way you can follow the podcast, I guess. I wrote a little companion fanfic for this episode because I just wanted to write a little fanfic about Rodya and have it up as like a piece of marketing, a piece of companion piece. Ash likes it.
I like it.
I'm still worried it's kind of dumb, but like people, you can be the judge of that yourselves. You can find that at archiveofourown.org/users/soulmatespod. I haven't actually made it yet. All one word. But I've decided in advance that's what it's going to be.
Soulmates Pod.
Soulmates Pod. It's a good little fic. Anyway, Ash, hello. I'm very excited to be talking about Limbus Company. The last time we talked about Limbus Company, I was kind of like a nascent Limbus Company as you guided me through the journey, through the inferno, one could say. And now I'm deeply obsessed. Yeah. And you've ruined my entire life. How do you feel about that?
Let's go. I feel great about it. Let me just say that when I was getting ready for this episode, I remembered that I'm a huge freak. I had forgotten for a minute how intense I can get about this game because there's been no new content for a little bit, and so I've been kind of on the back burner. Whoops. Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoops. Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoops. I'm really excited to be talking about it again.
I fucking love Rodya. I'm so excited to talk about Rodya.
I fucking love Rodya!
She's so fucking... God, she's just like... It's so funny that, like... She is this person who is, like... You know, this really interesting, like, relatively common character archetype, but still one that's, like, always compelling if written well. I mean, anything's compelling if written well, etc., etc. But, like, there are no bad tropes, etc. But, like, that she's this kind of, like, emotional anchor of the team, kind of, like, support mom, this kind of, like, sweetheart, sort of, like, down-to-earth gambling girl who just wants to, like, blow you a little kiss so you feel okay and just wants everyone to be doing okay. And then also she's Rodion Raskolnikov from Crime and Punishment, and she's these things both at once. And they kind of pull it off. Wild. I'm
smiling so big behind my microphone right now. See, this is why I had to plug my AO3 at the beginning of this podcast in a terrible, unprepared bit, because I'm not going to be able to get through this episode recording without talking about like everything I've spent the past year writing about. I'm going to be so annoying about her. I like her so bad. She's so interesting. Her particulars are materialistic and engrossed gambler, and her color is lusty burgundy.
And I find her, like... I mean, like, you know... Project Moon games, not, like, especially, you know... lusty games, notably.
Famously unlusty.
Famously unlusty. You know, eventually we'll do episode 5 of this season, and then maybe it'll have been long enough that we'll be able to talk about it. Maybe. She's exactly 6 feet tall. That's so funny.
That's so hot.
She's taller than me. Hot. I'm reasonably tall, but I'm not that tall.
She's the second tallest sinner, behind only Mersa. Hey, Ash, why do you do that off the top of your head? Shut your fucking mouth.
Anyway, she's presented as being, like, so flirty, lusty burgundy, but she doesn't actually, like, you know, she doesn't do anything with it. Like, she doesn't notably, she doesn't, like, engage in, like, any sort of serious relationship with anyone, which does happen in these games. She's just, like, I like her because she's, you know, she's a woman, and also Rodion Raskolnikov, and she, like, uses being a hot, tall woman with a big axe, to kind of, like, socially manipulate people in, like, a way that makes you feel like she's being nice to you. And this is, like, I guess I was just talking, I will say this over and over again, this is just very compelling to me. You know, in some ways she reminds me of myself, in a sort of awful, awful way. Tall, evil. I used to have her exact haircut.
Awesome.
And be tall and evil. Anyway, I just really like her. She's so fun. She's great.
She's so fun. She's so interesting. I will never get over, I guess this is casual spoilers. Not really. This is just a scene from Limbus Company. I don't know why I think about this all the time. Also, I have a sticker of her on my laptop right now as I'm recording this, and I'm, like, petting her. It's really good. I'll link to this particular sticker sheet, actually, in the co-host for this. Don't even forget.
Okay,
because I really, really like it, and I think everyone should see it. This is my plug for somebody else's unrelated merchandise.
Let's go! However, to get to that merchandise, you'll have to look at our co-host, so
you
get
will.
fucked.
Get fucked. But, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Shit. There's a scene in Canto 5 in which, Ishmael is having the worst time ever, and she's, you know, being a huge bitch to every single person that she encounters because she's having the worst time ever, and Rodya, like, pulls her aside for a bit, and, like, they have a one-on-one conversation, and I think it's the most interesting thing in the world ever. I do know why. I was gonna say I don't know why. I do know why. It's just so, like, I think Rodya's character archetype being, like, I won't describe it as mothering, but, like, you know, very attentive to people's emotional states, which means occasionally catering to their wants and needs. Like, and then also her being a huge dirtbag is extremely interesting, because, like, she does have these moments where she really looks very earnestly and wholesomely like a member of the team, and, like, you know, she cares for these people and wants them to be okay, and I think that's true. I think it's largely true. It's just also, like, clearly born out of this thing that she has where she's a good gambler because she can read people well, and she's, you know, good at appearing like a normal, well-adjusted person, even though she's not. And it's so, like, I promise I'll stop talking in, like, 5 seconds, even though I know this is what the podcast is. This is me talking. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. Like, for a game which centers explicitly the faults of its characters as, like, a selling point for their whole existence, you know, the characters are sinners. They've done something wrong. They are bad people. They're awful to be around. They're a bunch of losers. You know, the loser bus. For a game which is centered around these things, I just love to look at Rodya as the most, like, apparently, you know, fun to be around person on this bus, maybe. She's tied for most well-adjusted, apparently, with Ishmael, but Ishmael's kind of a freak, and so is Rodya. They both seem relatively normal at first glance, though. And I just like her. She's so good. She's such a good example of how they do characters in this game, and I like her so much.
Yeah, she just, like, in this way that is, like, almost upsettingly deeply relatable. Like, she just, like, knows... She does, like, deeply care about people on a, like, genuine level. Or at the very least, when she looks at a person suffering, she has this, like, impulse to do something. And there's, like... The game sort of, like, goes back and forth a lot on whether or not that impulse is born... It is basically whether that impulse is kind of, like... I can't... What's the...
Ultimately self-serving?
No. That's not even what I mean.
Okay.
Whether it's, like... Oh my god, a learned behavior versus an innate behavior, but there's a cleaner and more normal way to say that.
That's the best I got for you.
Whether that's, like, you know, whether that's something that she, like, whether she, like, sort of genuinely feels that those emotions, or whether she just sort of, like, comes from a situation in which, like, you kind of can't help it in a way. In which, like, the best way for her to survive was to be like that and, like, work together. And, you know, by extension, yes, whether or not she is ultimately not, yeah. And then, like, a separate conversation of, like, is she being self-serving when she acts on that? And, like, how much do either of those things matter? Also, you know, if she makes people feel good and she gets the job done, then does it matter if she's being genuine? Does it matter, like, if she's bringing the mood up because she wants people to like her so she can cash out those chips later? Or whether she's just doing it, you know, because she genuinely wants you to be okay? Is there nuance there? And also, does it matter? Especially in such a chronically difficult situation in which we're all chronically encountering and re-encountering trauma. Does it matter?
Does it matter? I disclaimer, have not read Crime and Punishment. I'm sorry. It's one of the very few things in Limbus Company I haven't actually read.
Fuck you, Dostoevsky.
I'll read it eventually, probably soon even. Fyodor can have my money. He's long dead. Fyodor's estate can have my money. Penguin Classics can have my money while I buy a copy of Crime and Punishment.
Shout out to Penguin Classics.
Shout out to Penguin Classics. But they do such a good job with this, because I just realized that, no, this is fine. We do this in these episodes because we need a long section to talk about their character before we start looking at them.
Were you about to say, like, I just realized that this podcast is about visual art?
Well, yes, I just realized that it feels like we haven't started the podcast yet. It's whatever. You're here, I can do whatever the fuck I want. But she has a strong counterpoint. Like, I think most of the sinners kind of get an enemy, you know, who is sort of clearly and comically evil, to be their, you know, narrative counterpoint in their stories. Rodya gets a counterpoint that is, like, a guy who seems kind of like he's just a better person than she is. Like, you know, here's, like, you know, den of sin Rodya, full of gambling, so insincere, running up against, like, a guy who, you know, and, like, something leftist infighting. You know, a guy who ran his whole little fucking commie commie mutual aid you know, community center group, but didn't really end up actually doing anything to help people, but who, like, you know, has all these dreams of a better world and is like, you know, we can fix this. We need to make the city a better place. That's my goal. That's what I've organized towards for my whole life. And then Rodya kills the guy with an axe and is like, does this help? And he's like, no, what? She gets the person who seems like, this guy cares about people. This guy has goals. This guy has ideals. This guy is doing things which help people instead of, you know, being on the loser bus and / or becoming a gambling addict. And, like, that's because she's, you know, she needs that kind of counterpoint in order to highlight the part of her character that sucks, because the part of her character that comes out is how she's great and fun to be around and totally well-adjusted and has never had a problem in her life. And I like her so much, It's so good.
Yeah. But, like, also, like, you're not wrong, but also Sonya's a little bitch.
He's a little bitch. He's like, bad. He's terrible.
Sonya does ultimately end up highlighting the genuinely good parts of Rodya also, which is that, like, fucking, like, Sonya... Rodya is like a person of extremes, you know? She's a person of extreme selfishness and extreme selflessness. While Sonya is like this like perfect little balanced, moderate little fucking guy. And it's like, Sonya would never go do an axe murder that would get a whole half a district killed.
God forbid.
Because Sonya thinks through when he's mad about something. Also, Sonya would never, like, show up after a really difficult ordeal and dump a bunch of casino chips on the table and be like, let's go, I'm buying you all steak dinner. Because he also just, like, doesn't care in that way. And I, you know...
He has this weird, like, ideological purity bearing that I was rewatching Canto 2 recently, and he does this whole thing about, like, you know, oh, do you have the mark? And he's like, Rodya, you don't have the mark. You know, you're not, fucking good enough to be a good person. You know, your ideals aren't pure, and you go and kill people with axes, and that just can't stand. And it's so leftist infighting. He's so interesting.
Yeah. There's even implication that, like, he's playing, like, every side. That he's part of, like, both Demian's Blue Man group and the, like, Herman's Evil League of Nine.
Yeah.
Because he's,
it
like,
seems like it's hard to tell. God only knows.
He's too ideologically pure and perfect, a perfect boy, to, like, just pick a lane and commit to it, because he's like, well, I'll take the best of this and the best of this and get nothing done. Like a little idiot. Anyway, I found the scene that you were talking about. It goes, Ishmael's yelling at Pilot, the guy they just saved, and then Rodya's like, no, Ishi, what? You want sardine whale flavored ice cream? No way, me too. Why don't we head out and get some together? And then drags her off screen and is like, Ishi, you gotta stop bringing down the mood like that. We saved his life, didn't we? I understand that things are a bit rough right now, but let's be a bit patient, okay? Her little fucking mom.
Yeah.
And then Ishmael calls her Rodion, which is really funny. Back there, that's just indoctrination. They're brainwashing him. No one wants to admit they're throwing themselves into a meat grinder. And then Rodya is like, I know. And is like, people need a way to endure the reality and go on living somehow. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes they just don't have a choice. And is just like, And then Ishmael is like, don't talk down to me like you're coddling some baby. We're not that close. ... But I'll listen just this once.
Yeah.
And it's like she just knows how to do it.
She knows how to do it, and then also she's like pulling Ishmael aside because she's disrupting the fucking, carefully crafted atmosphere that she's got going on.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know.
Things need to be on a certain, like, acceptable deviation from norm, and if it gets too fucking... there's an acceptable amount of loser bus, and then there's Ishmael having a full-scale breakdown. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. I think at one point in the past, I described Rodya to you as her superpower is being the only one on the bus with tits.
You did, yes.
Which, like, truly, like...
This could start being a visual art podcast soon. But look at those honkers.
Look at those honkers. But not even physically, just in the way that, like, she uses this sort of, like, everyone's need for, like, affection and also everyone's need for, like, motherhood. Kind of, like, alternating between the two, depending on what the situation calls for. And it's just like, yeah, let me fill this role for you so that I can be okay. Because as long as everyone else is okay, then I'm okay. Anyway, let's go look at her tits.
Yay!
This is Rodya's sort of default banner splash art. You can look at it on her main page.
limbuscompany.fandom.com/wiki/Rodion. I like the little choker she always wears. I always forget that she's wearing it. I never draw it on her. She just has a choker. Good for her. Make your fashion statement. There's only so much you can do in order to do so.
Brief description. Everyone in this game wearing the same damn outfit, except different in important ways. She's got the long coat. She's a little bit Hong Lu pilled. She's got the long coat, sort of like tight around her, such that it almost looks dress-like. And it's sort of ragged at the bottom, which I think is fun. She like takes care of it, but like not that much.
I'm looking at everyone's uniforms right now to see if I can get a sense of whether everyone's long coat is ragged at the bottom, because it's certainly... I always notice that on Yi Sang, but I never think about it being on, like, Rodya or anyone else. And it looks like... no, Don Quixote's is well taken care of. Never mind.
Don Quixote and Hong Lu, notably, very, very neat and smart.
Yeah.
Which makes
Yi
sense.
Sang, Rodya, nah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, those fucking losers. Yeah. As we all know, Don Quixote, definitely not a loser. I
think Faust is even, like, ripped at the bottom.
Faust is a loser.
Anyway,
sorry, this is a podcast about Rodion Raskolnikov.
Sorry, my bad.
It's fine. Anyway, on the topic of tits, I really like how she like you can't see any cleavage, but she has like her little vest that they wear over their white collared shirt, like unbuttoned and just held together by the vest, or sorry, just held together by the belt. Belt at her waist, which gives her like a little bit of a corseted kind of silhouette. That's the word I was looking for. But then also gives her this like deep V. And you can't like she has no cleavage, but it is clearly like it's clearly like intentionally shaped so that she look like a woman. She's breasting boobily. But not too hard. Just like enough that you know. Enough that you look at her and you're like, woman.
Woman.
This is important. She need you to look at her and think, woman. Because everyone want woman to be happy.
The gender of characters in Project Moon games is Kathy and person who loves Kathy, and Rodya is a Kathy.
Rodya's a Kathy, for sure. Yeah, I just like, she also is like one of the only, just by the way that they draw everyone looks a little bit like they have makeup, but she notably has makeup.
Yeah.
She has a little bit of a soft coral lipstick and a little bit of blush and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like just how fucking, I like that in this image, there's a couple images of like the default guys in which like they're looking at the camera and you're catching them in a good moment. You know, Don Quixote and Hong Lu again are very much like presenting. Even Ishmael is like kind of like, yeah, I'm like,
she acknowledges you.
I'm posed, ready to go. Rodya, it feels like are catching her in an off moment. You really rarely see this face that's in this sort of like default splash on her character while she's talking. Because usually she's like doing, you know, the flirty little tilde at you. But she's sort of like scratching the back of her head and she looks just so tired. Girl looks so tired. Girl needs a fucking nap.
Yeah.
Spending all day, every day breasting boobily, and it's so much work.
I thought you were going to say spending all day, every day removing heads from torsos, but it's also a lot of work.
Well, I mean, like, you know, it's a lot of work, and when you're removing heads from torsos, and you're breasting boobily, it's really hard on your back. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not my point is not to like overly sexualize this woman, a thing that we never do on this podcast, question mark. Never done this. It's just that like it's notably framed, and I think it's important.
I mean, it is. Like, I think, you know, for all that Project Moon extremely... Oh, yeah, a notable thing about this image is that Rodya doesn't wear a tie, which helps with the silhouette that she's got, which is, like, the deep V. But, like, as much as, you know, gender isn't real in Project Moon, and sex isn't necessarily real either, you know... I mean, it's real, but it's not like, it's important to the text in only very specific ways and isn't like a societal structure, which we all engage with all the time. It's like, you know, because it's not like something we're engaging with all the time, it's important when they make a character who has tits. There's something significant about that as a design choice. And so it's, you know, it's important to you know, look at Rodya's boobs a lot. And saying that makes me sound like a freak, but I'm right, and you just have to trust.
Just have to listen, people. We're the expert.
Listen.
We've been doing this for a long time now, like 6 months. Wow, that feels weird to say.
Yeah.
But you know what? No, it doesn't. Do think about it. We're the experts here. New tact, new half a year, new tact. Do think about it.
Think about it.
Think about it. We're good.
If anyone knows when it's important to look at a woman's boobs, it's us.
It's us. It's us.
I also want to look at her ex, which is equally as sexy. Sorry, yes?
Oh, I was gonna say, if you ever want to know, should I think about this woman's tits? First of all, if it's a real woman and you're not, consent, etc., I won't go into that. I think it's a boring joke. But if you were like, should I think about this fictional woman's tits? You can always ask us using the co-host asks feature. Our best
friend. You can always
friend.
send me an ask on co-hosts, and I'll let you know. Anyway, I want to look at her axe, which is just as big as her boobs and just as sexy.
Yeah, if you have the question, should I be thinking about this woman's murder axe? The answer is always yes.
It's yes.
You can send us a co-host ask anyway.
Her weapon's name, I can't pronounce because it's in Russian.
Oh,
my bad. It's the first half
of
the last name, Raskolnikov. So it might just be Raskol, I don't know. Or Raskoln, maybe how you pronounce that. Ivy is looking it up dutifully.
There we go.
But it means split or division in Russian. Like you split people's heads open with your big axe. It's drawn so nice. It's so shiny, and it's got this like I draw a lot of axes because I like to play characters in video games and tabletop RPGs that wield big axes. I'm a big axe kind of guy, so I draw a lot of axes.
I have the answer to translation, by the way.
Yes.
Raskol.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it has this like slight heft to it that you can see in like the blade of it looks, it's thin. It comes to a tapered point at that edge. But then you can also see, like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. If you look at the left point of her axe and then come in on that outline, you can see where it becomes a block of metal. And I just like that heft to it. And I also like the fucked up nature of this weapon, which seems like probably something which was made in the backstreets, whether by her or by some, like, backstreets weapon dealer. The handle is all wonky. It's very, this is not a high grade
weapon. I mean, this is what axe handles look like.
I mean, to an extent.
This is what like this is what like this shape of handle, this like wiggly shape, is what I associate not with combat axes, but with like work axes. If you like go to the fucking Home Depot, yeah, you have Home Depots in the States.
Correct.
There's a big Canadian that you don't have. Anyway, doesn't matter. If you go to like the Home Depot and you just like get an axe, you're like, hello, Mr. Home Depot, one axe, please. It will have this shape for like ergonomics of holding.
It's got like a dip where you put your hand and then it flares out again at the end.
And so it has this kind of like, in the fanfic I wrote for this episode, I described it as a work axe because I kind of didn't know what else to... and also it just like, it was more fun to me if it was like, just an axe for chopping wood. But it like, it really kind of like, it blurs the line in that way where like, it, so much of it from like the thick block at the top, which like you wouldn't necessarily want on a combat axe. I mean, it's there, but they tend to be, but you would want to, because you want to minimize the weight. But it would be there on a like a fire axe because you want to maximize the weight. You don't care about like flexibility, the flexibility of the weapon. You just want it to hit the block of wood / door as hard as possible when you need to use it, which is why so many of those axes have like that big block of metal. They just don't care. But then, yeah, right, the tip is this fucking, like, scythe shit.
Yes.
And it blurs the line between a combat axe and a work axe that is really compelling for me. Like, the handle is clearly just, like, made of, like, some fucking, like, cheap wood.
I was looking up axe handles on Google Images to remind myself of this shape in a way that's not in a cartoon. And I did find a very interesting image. This is totally unrelated to the podcast at this point, that just showed that pre-Civil War axe handles were relatively straight, and then by 1885 there was a dedicated axe handle shape that the pattern for an axe handle was, part of a carpenter's toolkit. As you could make an axe handle with this specific bent shape. And also it shows me that the end of Rodya's axe is probably a scroll knob. Just a fun fact. Anyway, it's fun to look at and it's very fun to draw. Highly recommend everyone listening to this episode just, make this axe handle shape. Or not this axe handle shape, this axe head shape. It's so weird. Fucking love it. It's impossible, but it's, it's really fun. I think we're good on
the background.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
There's not that much to look at. It's just kind of she's in a casino. She's in this fantasy casino zone. I love how this background is painted, which is why I want to take note of it. It's just in these the cards in the foreground have a little bit more detail, but everything else is in these just thick fucking brushstrokes. And it's just a deeply impressionist kind of mess of a casino. I have a painting on my wall that a friend bought for me that is by, hang on, let me find it. Denise Tomasos Metropolis. This is not what I have on my wall, but is Denise Denyse Thomasos, Denise Tomasos, draws these really kind of blocky, impressionistic, abstract cityscapes that I just fucking love. I'm gonna send you. That's one that this kind of. Here's another. And it really kind of reminds me of that. It's just these it's clearly a casino. That's clearly a harbor. There's clearly boats, but it's also such a fucking mess. And it's clearly a casino. This is the one that I have on my wall. This next one I'm gonna send you, which is called Metropolis.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, it's sick.
It is.
And it kind of reminds me of that. It's just it's a casino, but once you get past the floor, it's just a mess. It's just a mess of shapes and there's this one in this slot machine in the bottom left sort of has definition on it. You can kind of tell what the things are, but as we go up, it gets more and more abstract. And there's slot machines that have windows that make no sense, and it just it just says the name of her axe up in lights. You can sort of see his fun little thing. I think
that says jackpot, actually, but...
Oh. It does say jackpot. I thought it said... Well, never mind. Fuck me.
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint.
It says 8,000 in the top right, because she just got a Mangan in Mahjong. But it's just I don't know. There's nothing interesting here. It's just abstract casino landscape, but I just really like it. This kind of thick brushstroke impressionist bullshit that kind of folds in on itself. It's really nice. It really suits her kind of even the I'm a silly little gambler thing is a facade, right? To some extent. And so if you look at it close enough, it starts to break down and make no sense. And that really suits her, I think.
I was clicking around all of the Sinner's other splash art images just to get a sense of because I really like this, thick brushstroke thing, and they do it on some other images. They do it on Gregor's, but a lot of these do have, more definition than I remember them having. Hong Lu's is super well defined, Rousseau's is super crisp, there's a lot of detail in, Sinclair's and Ryoshu's. Don Quixote's has this, style in the background with the big windmill Ferris wheel, but, the central carousel is very crisp and well defined. So it's really just, it is a fun artistic choice.
Yeah, I like taking note of it for that reason, because Gregor was similar, because he's also in kind of he's in sort of a similar kind of perpetually dissociated state.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are, but some of them think they're more grounded than others.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
And so they whoever their artist is, we could probably find out, because this game has credits. Whoever their artist is who draws these, is capable of a lot of range of painting styles, and so I think it's good to take note of. And I really enjoy it. And this one is just it's very striking to me. It's kind of uninteresting, but it's uninteresting in an interesting way. It doesn't actually tell you anything about Rodya, which tells you a lot about Rodya.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we can move on. We've been here for a long time.
It's okay. I love her.
I love her. I could talk about her all day. I have to scroll back up through all these pieces of art and furries to find your little list of identities.
The next one is, of course, LCCB Assistant Manager Rodion, who was released on launch. Yeah, she was available on launch as part of Season 1. She mirrors Effie. She is, that's why she's a Season 1 identity and not a Season 0. I think some of the LCCB ones are Season 0, as in you get them from the dispenser, but they were released during certain seasons, but don't correspond to the story in any way. But Rodion is Effie, so she gets to be Effie. This is her Uptie 1 and 2 art. I really like... I really like her art here. I think a little bit better than I like her Uptie 3 art. I think I keep her on this one just because I prefer the look of it. Mm-hmm. It's got colors as hell. First of all, I really like
3 colors,
which is to say, it's got colors as hell. Mm-hmm. The Limbus Company, you actually only see this uniform in Kanto 3, which is really funny because you get this identity is available since this game's release. But this is the standard Limbus Company clear team uniform, which is a very tactical. She's got this taser thing that you see in action in her Uptie 3. She's got an assault vest, and thick gloves and thick sleeves, and everything is the same sort of steel blue with red writing on it, which is why the main colors of the art are this steel blue with some pale bright blue as well as red. She's loading onto a big carrier, the type that you see in Kanto 3. She's talking into a little walkie-talkie. She looks, I'm opening this image in a new tab in order to get a better look at her face. She's very nonplussed. I think a lot of her dialogue in this identity is man, I should be getting a promotion. I distinctly remember. Yeah, I like this look. I mean, it's everyone in Project Moon is wearing a suit or some variation of a uniform of some kind, and I love people in uniform, but you don't actually get to see this pure kind of military look a whole lot, and so I'm pretty fond of the LCCB identities just for that.
Yeah. I love her fucking hair in this image.
Mm-hmm.
I love what they do with her hair in general, and so many of them, it's she just has so much of it, and it's this massive, messy cloud that, again, is, I used to have hair like this. I, stopped letting people cut my hair at a very young age, and I didn't cut it until I was, fucking, 23 or some shit, 22. Mm-hmm. And so forever I had this haircut, which is just no haircut. It just grows too much. And I love how it's just it's billowing in the wind. in this very kind of like appealing way, but it also kind of, I don't know, there's a weird, maybe this is projecting, but such as art that it makes you feel emotions. There's this like way in which like so she's walking from one side of the screen to the other. On one side of the screen is like the back streets. It's got this very kind of standard issue like cyberpunk ass Neo Tokyo shit. Like it's dirty buildings with bright neon lights. And, you know, on the right is the interior of the truck, which is clean and nice and bright, and, like, the colors are, like, crisp, while the colors of the back streets are kind of muddy. And, like, she has this wild, billowing hair, almost, like, reaching out to the real world as she walks into this very artificial truck. And her hair is, like, massive and wild, and is bathed in, like, the sort of, like, amber red of the back streets, while the front of her is, like, very crisp and put together, like, bathed in this, like, very artificial, just bright, slightly bluish light. And it's just, like, you know, it's a very simple kind of visual compositional theming, but first of all, I love any kind of visual compositional theming. We don't always get it on this podcast, and it's just like, it's really crisp and clean, you know?
That's why I said this one has colors as hell, is because it's got two opposing things going on, and it's a composition! Yes!
She's the wild child, and she's like, you know, part of her is still reaching for that wildness, and part of that is still here, but she's moving into this crisp, clean, I work for a company ass space. And it's just really nice. It's very Rodya. It's very, you know, the city. It's great.
My other note on this is just that I like to look at her hand. She's got the little veins in her hand kind of coming through the glove, and I like I like it very much.
Yeah. You can like see on both of her hands, you can see like the creases of the gloves really nicely. I really like this, like, they did a really good job on her left hand position. Like they could have had her just like holding the walkie-talkie, but instead she's like has this one finger elevated to sort of like hold it on, like get ready to press down the button. Really just
I wouldn't
nice
be surprised if a person
detail.
posed their hand for this one.
Oh, yeah, probably. But still, regardless, it's just like, you know.
No, yeah, that's a compliment. I love talking about art with you. I know this is what our whole podcast is about. I got so happy when you started talking about the stupid backstreets and the clean and everything. I love talking about art with you.
You too, babe.
Outside 3 is, of course, an action shot, as is traditional. You get to see the full front of her uniform. She's a little bit less, you know, nonplussed here. She's kind of got a little bit of a smile going on. Okay, you can see more clearly that they have the stupid blue tie under their uniforms. And I don't even know how to handle it emotionally. Everyone in this goddamn universe is wearing a tie. It's really hard to parse what's happening on the left.
Everyone in this goddamn universe is wearing either the color red or the color blue, or both.
Or
the only two colors that exist.
But she's clearly like kicking down some metal. I can't really, it's hard to parse this image. There's people with like, you know, their riot shields and shit in the back. She's got her, you know, taser lit. She's got her big old combat boot coming in. The perspective of her legs is extremely funny if you look at it for more than like 5 seconds.
Yeah, big leggy.
Big leggy.
I don't know. I'm looking at the left side of the image and I'm trying to parse it, and I'm like, maybe it's just some Denise Thomasos shit, you know? Maybe this is just like abstract shapes of a battle scene.
Maybe so. There are these kind of like repeated, I don't know what that, there's like a gear-like shape in the bottom right, you know, foreground, and then a gear-like shape sort of over to the left, or something spinning or something. That seems... Oh, no, there's probably a Picatula. probably the Pride Picatula.
Sure.
And if I'm wrong, someone can yell at me about it.
Yeah. The reason,
it's very, it's again, it's sort of this like bifurcated composition where there's this super blackish blue and red, and then there's the super orange and yellow, just on two sides of a
and this
door.
Yeah, and this one is like, I don't know. I don't disagree with you. That's probably the Pride Picatula, but this is also just like, it's just abstract chaos. There's like a line down the middle of this one that is like doesn't. I don't understand it, but it doesn't matter. It's just like a clean dividing line. And this, I like, I have been, for reasons that I guess I'll probably talk about it for the first time at the end of this episode. But like, I have been looking at a lot of different gacha game art where they have this like 1 and then 2, this base art and then upgraded art thing. And it's become very important to me that these two images are connected. And the thing I love about this image is that these two images are connected. It's the same theming as the last one, with the same framing, the chaos on the left, which is with its particular colors. Now it's this sort of electric blue and like explosion yellow. And then on the right is this sort of stark danger red of the lighting from the truck. And in this one, she's facing the other direction. She's moving in the other direction. And she's smiling because she's happy. In the other one, she's moving into the, like, the rigid structure and out of the chaos. And she's sort of, at best focused and at worst kind of sad. And here she's like clearly getting back into her element. She's moving from the rigid company structure back to the like, let's kick some guys with our big leg.
Big leg.
And it's just like, I can literally press the arrow keys and I can flip between them, and it's like, it works. That's themes, baby. That's themes, baby.
I think last thing I want to talk about with her is just a quick highlight on her battle sprites, in which you can see this taser thing that she has a lot better. Just I really like the light blue and red wires that are coiling around the staff. Again, theming. It makes me happy.
2 wires. The first one's red. The first one's blue. The second one's red.
Okay, so you need to... what color is the second wire?
Red.
Okay.
There's 2 batteries on the bomb.
Okay, cut the blue wire.
Okay, I exploded.
Ah, fuck. Should have checked the serial number.
Oh, no, the serial number doesn't have a vowel. Doesn't have a vowel.
Moving on.
Hang on, jotting down in my fanfics idea document, the sinners play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
We should play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes after this.
We keep saying this. We should. We should.
We should keep talking, and then nobody will explode.
There's one thing we're good at, it's keeping talking, which is what we're about to do as we move on to checking the list.
N-Corp Mittelhammer Rodion.
N-Corp Mittelhammer. Mittelhammer.
This is, of course, released... This is, I think, I'm doing this slightly out of order, technically, because I want to do the Season 1 identities before I get to the Dispenser Season 1 identities.
This is the one where she's looking at the pizza in the microwave,
This is the one where she's looking at the microwave! Great. But this one was released, midway into Season 1, after some people had gotten the opportunity to get to Canto 3 and see N-Corp and experience N-Corp and know that this is a weird... cult, and she look at the microwave. Me looking into the microwave, seeing if my pizza is heated. Waiting for the microwave to be done.
This is a meme image.
There's a lot of meme edits of this particular Up Taiwan art looking into a microwave, because There's a lot of meme edits of all of the N-Corp identities doing some kind of cooking activity. And so it's just very pleasing to look at her and think about the microwave. She's, in a crowd of identically dressed, armored folks with big old padded collars and wax seals and shit on their chest, looking adoringly at their leader, who is shadowed in the foreground, whose face you cannot see. And she's got nails. I've never noticed this before. She's got nails strapped to her forearms. I guess that's where they keep them. Great. That's fun.
Great. I'm trying to I'm doing the motion of pulling those off. That seems kind of awkward.
Yeah, it would be
normally a shoulder holster is on the inside of your shoulder, which is much easier to get to. Mm-hmm. But go off,
you would
I
have
guess.
To pull it. Your arm would have to extend all. I'm doing it as well. Your arm would have to extend all the way up. It's making my shoulder pop. That's just because my body is breaking down. But also she's very bloody. Everyone in this crowd is extremely bloody. If you look at her battle sprites, she's also just her hair is covered in blood, her face is covered in blood, her weapon is covered in blood, her boots are muddy and covered in blood.
She's standing in front of a fire.
Mm-hmm. She's standing in front of a microwave?
Standing in front of a microwave. People, me and Ash talked about this sort of, or I alluded to this earlier when me and Ash were doing our pre-podcast chat, but I've decided that we're not allowed to talk about Cromer until season 2, episode 3 of this show. Because if we start talking about Cromer, me and Ash will start going feral for reasons that nobody listening understands. You might think it's oh, you're crazy about Cromer for the normal people.
No.
You don't understand.
We are not that kind of freak.
We're not freaks for Cromer in that way. We're freaks for Cromer for entirely sort of homegrown ways. And to learn what that's about, stick around until season 2, episode 3 of this podcast.
My frenzy meter rose by about 20 just by you mentioning the idea of this, so we really can't talk about it.
I can't say the words, otherwise we'll lose our minds. So we're moving back to this piece of art. What are the words? Great question. Anyway, moving on.
But I do like the way that the sweep of the cape moves across this image. I haven't looked at this front figure a whole lot when looking at this image, mostly because I'm so focused on microwave. I like it a lot. Microwave.
No, it's nice. I like one thing I like about this image. The sweep of the cape, it frames things really nicely. It had some nice visual kind of flow. You follow her, the classic, I do this shit a lot. I love to follow the flow of an image, and watch it make little circles between important points, and this is very satisfying. You follow her, you look at her face, because it's the brightest thing in the image, and then you follow her eyes to the hand, and then the fingers point you to, the shoulder and the head of the person, which gives you just enough hair color detail to figure out who it is. And then you're oh, let my eyes follow the sweep of this cape down, and it goes down and around and goes whoop, and then you see the guys behind her, and then you're back at her face, and it makes a nice little loop. I love it when composition make a nice little loop.
I encourage everyone to zoom all the way in on Rodya's face here and just sort of appreciate it.
And just imagine that you're looking out at it from inside of a microwave.
Yeah. There's something just very, pleasing about, for the uninitiated. I guess we didn't talk about this at all in Gregor episode, because Gregor doesn't have an N-Corp identity. N-Corp is a weird cult, and it's, everyone there is very brainwashed. Everyone there is drinking slop, which brainwashes them. And they're all fanatically, killing people. And so I like her, extremely blank expression and the deep eye bags and the, like, smile that is just sort of too wide. I like it.
She's got this kind of, like, yeah, buddy, look. Like, she's here. I love that, like, I love that, like, the way they differentiate her from her peers is not through her outfit this time. She hasn't, like, modified the N-Corp Mittelhammer outfit to be tits out. But she does have her arms crossed instead of this, like, standing at attention. And she has her, like, eyes lowered. Maybe one eye even, like, lowered a little less. Maybe. And she just looks like a little bit incredulous, you know? She's not she's happy to be here for her own reasons, but she's not really buying into it. She's like, sure, dude, go off.
Her eyes are so glassy. They've got this, like, slight, you know, white effect on the bottom of her eyes, which just kind of is very nice. I like this art a lot. I actually don't keep her on this art on my personal Rodya, just because the Uptight 3 art is extremely pretty, in my opinion. I like, you know, moving on to the Uptight 3 art, she's spearing a prosthetic person with, you know, big blue electric sparks coming out of them, and blood is splattering all over her, and she's raised up her hammer and is about to, you know, whack this person. There are hanging bodies in the background behind her, and you're kind of looking up at her from this prone position. You can only see her eyes, you can't see her face because of this big collar. Her hair is out and wild, of course, again, and there's these really strong, like, movement and action lines which, you know, imply the person being pushed down and move you up to look at her face. I just really like the blue color contrasting with this kind of... My problem with, you know, keeping it on the original is just that I love colors, and there's, like, one color in that image, and this image has two colors, and I like two colors.
Yeah. We
know
this. This image has a really, really good use of... We look at a lot of... I'm always happy to do a season 2 episode, because we look at a lot of sort of static guys in static poses in this show, which is fine and normal. But, like, this image has such good use of, like, motion blur and focus, and, like, what is in focus and what is not in focus, and, like, what is moving and what is not moving. Like, her eyes and her, like, her whole torso are so crisp, which is important, for establishing the, like, movement of everything else, because that means that, like, if you raise your hands above your head like you're going to swing a hammer, it means that she's very kind of, like, it means that she's sturdy and focused. It gives the sense that she's sturdy and focused and, like, you know, doing the damn thing. What am I trying to say? I feel like I'm kind of losing it. There's kind of like a... It means that her body is, like, relatively still as she's doing this fairly mechanical action with her arms in a way that makes her feel very professional and very not wild. And you can see this in her eyes, too. Her eyes have a really beautiful shade of blue. Hey, girl.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you that your eyes have a really beautiful shade of blue?
I love your beautiful blue eyes and how they look when
shade
you're
of blue.
Killing people.
But she's just, like, so glassy-eyed focused, and is only moving the parts of her body that need to move to kill. And her frenzy meter is at, like, 0.
That's the thing, is that all the N-Corp identities have super high sanity because they regain sanity when they're with other N-Corp identities.
And that's sort of, like, the fun thing about her and about her as an N-Corp identity is that she's, like, kind of chill. She's not doing the fanatical thing. She's just like, well, here to do the work. And they convey that really, really well in specifically in like the way this image is framed and the way her body is moving is framed, and it's just like kind of sick as hell.
If you look at the battle sprites, you can also see that she does not have that kind of like battle smile that the other identities have. There are other N-Corp identities that have way more like zealotry. N-Corp Don Quixote has this awesome like cackle, and is always super like whatcha. She's very happy to be there. Rodya's voice lines in this identity I didn't review the voice lines prior to this episode. I'm just like this. But the the voice lines for N-Corp Rodya are much more like passively, positive. She has a literal like foo instead of that fanatical cackle. And she's just having a nice time. Or, like, not having much of a time at all. You decide. I really like in this image the way that her armor is, like, detailed. They just do a great job with the N-Corp armor, making it really, it's so nice. All these little moving plate parts around her torso, and then she's got, she's got armor around her upper arms, but, like, she's got area for movement in like her armpits and then elbows. She's got this strap keeping her knee pads on, and like you can clearly see the difference between, I can't tell if this is like fabric or if it's meant to be chainmail. It's unclear, but
I think it's fabric. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that the N-Corp guys don't have any mail. They're just like thick gambeson fabric and
yeah, that would make sense. I like the way that her like seals like flutter in this image. It's very nice. It's just well composed. And I like to imagine that the bright blue highlight in her eyes is a sick Crime and Punishment reference. Famously, someone seeing their face reflected in one's eyes,
bro.
In this bright blue light.
Sick Crime and Punishment reference, bro.
That's how I think of it. Anyway, she's great. She's good to look at. Once again, just I like looking at her battle sprites. The N-Corp battle sprites are fun to look at because I like seeing all of these details attempt to be put on this little sprite. They do a very good job, but there are a lot of, because of their tendency to make these all black shadows, and the fact that there's so much metal, which is all individually like rendered in shadow. I do this when I'm drawing metal. Each shadow is individually rendered on the metal. It makes it like sort of hard to parse, especially on the dark background of this fandom wiki.
Yeah, a little bit. They do a decent job.
It's good to look at.
Yeah.
Next up is Kurakumo Clan Wakashu Rodion.
Kurakumo Clan Wakashu Rodion.
This was also on release available, but I did N-Corp before this one because this one is technically a Season 0 identity, and you can get it from the dispenser at any time, and it doesn't have anything to do with the story going on at the moment, although it does tie into an event later.
It's so hard to look at this image and not look at Honglu's titties.
I know. Listen,
sorry, Rodya, you've been out-tittied.
You've been out-tittied. They really, like, define each of his pecs. It is like cleavage. She's got her shirt buttoned all the way up, too.
Yeah, she's like, pro-fresh. And, like, she looks good. She's got that cinched waist, but Honglu is, great. Like...
serving.
Serving.
Here's what I like about this image, is that the two of them kind of look like they're lined up for, like, fucking... they kind of look like they're in line for a concert. Like, she looks like she's got thick makeup on. They're so, like...
Yeah, they
the
look
choker
really
makes
bored.
it for me.
Yeah, they're going to... they're going to, like, a fucking emo concert together.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Like, these are their MCR fits, and honestly, good.
Yeah, I'm happy for them.
They're doing it right. Listen, if I saw somebody at the MCR concert with a choker, thick, like, mascara, and then, like, black button-up shirt, black belt, black pants, and black overcoat draped around their shoulders, I would be like, you're the most beautiful person I've ever met, I think.
Uh-huh.
Also, if I saw somebody with their whole titties out.
And then next to her, she's got this side piece titties out, tattooed up motherfucker.
He hasn't put as much effort in, but I appreciate it. I'd appreciate him anyway.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, he's got the investment, Mm-hmm. He took the he took the long-term investment to get these titty tattoos,
mm-hmm.
and now he never has to try that hard ever again.
Because he's got the most well-defined chest anyone has ever drawn.
Yeah, you just have to open up the shirt enough, and then it literally doesn't matter what shirt you're wearing.
Yeah. He's basically shirtless in this image, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I don't know, I think this image is, like, a little bit boring.
It is. They
hate making interesting Kurakuma clan images, which
do.
Sucks, because I like the Kurakuma clan.
This looks exactly like the Kurokuma Gregor image, is the problem. It
does.
Like, you can pull up the Kurokuma Gregor image and look at these side by side, because I think Rodya and Hong Lu are also in that one. Or it's Rodya and Ryoshu, I can't remember. Kurokuma Clan Captain Gregor, open link in new tab, Uptie 3. Yeah, it's Rodya and Ryoshu in that picture, but they're against the same, like, white background with things in the air, and they're, like, it's just it's the same, this diagonal composition with a lot of extras in it. The Gregor's is a little better, just because it's got more color in it. This is sort of green in tone, compared to that one, which is more navy, which is just interesting to think about. It's art that was made later. I appreciate the increase in quality overall. But I do, you've said what needs to be said. I like, she's got the waist. She's got I can't stop looking at her choker whenever she has it on, just because I think it's so interesting that she even has it. It's just a small accessory.
I like her posing. I like her little tear twirl. I just think how fucking bored they look.
I know.
Like
Hong Lu, master of being happy to be there, doesn't look happy to be there.
I know. They're like, oh my god, do we really have to stand in this diagonal composition for this long? We have to do it twice. In
the second one, she looks a little happier because Gregor is there.
Oh, I think about this image all the time. The
Uptie 3?
Why do I think about this? Yeah, the Uptie 3.
This image looks better animated, which is something I never think I ever say about these.
Wait, this one's animated?
Yeah, all the Uptie 3s are slightly animated, but I remember clearly how this one is animated. Everything waves in the wind, or not all the Uptie 3s, all the 3-star identities. Everything waves in the wind, and she's also got boob bounce.
I think about this one all the time, because it's like one of the only images in this game that has cleavage.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting in a game that has only, like, 2 images that have cleavage.
It's also one of the only times you can get a clear look at her tattoo.
Yeah. She's got you can see her little heart tattoo. You are correct, she has a little bit of the Kurokuma clan tattoo that you can see just a bit.
Yeah.
But I also think about this image all the time, because, like, first of all, she has cleavage, but the cleavage is kind of weird.
It is. They're not great at drawing boobs.
I don't... Good for them, honestly. I don't know why they do this. This is a thing I noticed while playing through Library of Ruina recently. But, like, I don't know why they draw boobs with the cleavage line, like, off-center. It makes it look really weird. If it just went up the center of the shirt, that would be normal, but it makes it look weirdly asymmetrical, and they probably did this for a reason, not as in they wanted it to look asymmetrical, but like somewhere in the process this happened, but like it looks weird, and so I think about this as a lot as like one of the two images in which there's boobs. Also, the boobs look really weird. This image is like, to be clear, I'm about to say a lot of things that are going to sound very critical, but I genuinely like this image. This image stands out also in that it is extremely... Her proportions are generally just kind of like no other, like, image in the... She's kind of, like, weirdly chibi. She's got, like, big head and big torso, but, like, small torso vertically, and then, like, you know, big, long, thick legs and big legs. Hands.
They do this with Rodya sometimes. I'm going to take this opportunity to briefly point out Rhymeshank Ego, just because she also has this, like, slightly bottom-up perspective where her legs are very long and thick, and her torso is also very thick, and her head is sort of squashed. And I think about the perspective in that one a lot, just because it's profoundly strange. I think they get a little freaked out sometimes.
It's way more intense in this one, but I do see what you're saying.
I think they get a little bit freaked out sometimes drawing this tall woman at the beginning of the lifespan of this game.
Tall woman with boob, and they're like, oh my god,
this
is
so
a
much
lot for us. There's so much woman. But I also I think if you kind of like, when I kind of calm down a little bit, I do like this image. I think it's got like, it's just got this really nice sort of clean, I like that, like, it's got a really nice clean composition. I like the fucking background. Again, it's this sort of like, you know, kind of abstract impressionist cityscape in these big thick brushstrokes. This sort of like Neo Tokyo shit, which is very Kurakuma Clan, and it has a neon sign with writing in it that like is probably not actually Japanese, but looks more like Japanese than it does Korean, which I think is fun.
Katakana script.
Yeah.
Or hiragana,
and it's just like, once I sort of get used to it, once I acclimate, I don't mind the chibiness. I think she genuinely looks kind of cute as she draws this like massive fucking sharp sword. The sword is so big. If she's 6 feet tall, but she just like, and the thing is that the sheath goes off screen, so I imagine she's just gonna keep pulling and keep pulling and keep pulling, and there's just infinite sword.
I'm imagining you might not get this reference, but I hope that somebody listening to this gets this reference. It reminds me of the fucking long man commercials. I'll show you later.
Oh my god, why did I take a sip of my weird drink?
Sorry for saying long man.
Trying to not spit out my drink really hurt my jaw. Do you want to know about my weird drink?
Yeah. Brief interlude for your weird drink.
Yeah. So we went out earlier. I have a mutual friend of ours staying with me right now. We went out earlier to go shopping. We got a bunch of stuff at the local Korean grocery store. And then we just like stopped off at this Vietnamese bubble tea place, and they were like, what do you want? And I was like, give me the Lychee Galaxy, one of their pre-made drinks. And it was fine. It was too strong for me. So I didn't drink all of it because it was too strong. So I came home and I was drinking more of it at home before the podcast. And then I made some tea because of podcasting, and also our friend Emma is a little sick. And then I was like, well, the lychee galaxy is too strong, and I want a little bit of sweetness in my tea, so I'm drinking lychee flavored like bubble tea with fruit jelly mixed with like lemon and mint herbal tea into an awful little concoction. Actually, it tastes quite good.
Thank you for your description of your weird drink. I love it when you mix two drinks that you've had today together and then tell me about it.
I know.
A couple things about this image before we move on, and also a couple other things before we move on, is she doesn't change her outfit basically at all between these two. I mean, they never really change the outfits in these, but she looks basically exactly the same, other than that she's unbuttoned her shirt slightly. Choker. Oh, she does take off the choker so it doesn't disrupt the line of skin, because she's unbuttoned her shirt slightly. Which I think is hilarious conceptually. Like, I get it's probably to show off the Kurakumo enhancement tattoos, like, in universe, and, you know, that's their whole gang thing. But I think it's really funny to be like, alright, time to kill some people, starts unbuttoning my shirt. But it does look great. I love the cinched waist on this, you know, and I love a black button-up just in my life, generally speaking. And then it's like, you really get a good look at this suit jacket that she's half wearing. I think it's so clean. And I really want you to look at, honestly, the better Kurakumo Rodion images are just her battle sprites. If you look at her, like, idol sprite, it's got the suit jacket sleeve, like, coming out. She just looks so good. I like it. Also, long-ass sword.
Sorry.
Yes?
Her idol sprite is her resting her hand on the sheath like the guy from The Great Ace Attorney.
True. You're not wrong.
Oh, man. Hold it.
Hold it. And by it, I mean my 7-foot-long katana.
I'm sad that the battle sprites don't have these fucking, like, cloud motifs. I understand it's very small, but the sword in the image proper looks very nice, genuinely. It's really... It feels very shiny and sharp. They're so good at drawing metal.
They are.
In this damn art team.
They're really
so
good at drawing weapons in these games.
Which is good and important. But, like... And she's got this, like, the rope twisting across the sheath is really nice.
Yeah. And then I also just wanted to point out that she loves to look so sort of disinterested and mildly upset in these pictures.
Yeah.
Sorry,
she's
girl.
Unbuttoned her shirt, but, like, not for you.
No,
not
for you.
She just wants to go to the fucking concert.
Oh my god, they got her in a scuffle in the line for the MCR concert. Sorry, girl. The other thing about the battle sprites is they have her shirt buttoned back up.
Cowards.
Cowards.
Drawing my sword on the way to the merch table.
Yeah, that's funny.
Thanks.
Moving on.
Is it break time? Break time?
Oh, it might be break time.
Break time.
It's break time. You're correct.
Break time. I think it's break time.
Good break time.
Be back. Could be break time.
Could be break time.
내 고향은 엄청 추웠어. 거기에 비하면 이곳은 온실이지. 가끔은 지나치게 따뜻한 건 아닌가 싶기도 해. 단테 고향은 어땠어? 아, 그렇지. 기억이 나면 꼭 말해주기다.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Great. I'm glad to make everything worse.
Yep.
Hi, welcome back.
It's time to talk about Rose Spanner Workshop Rep Rodion.
Let's fucking go!
The
best one!
It is.
You see Don Quixote in this image? You see Don Quixote on the right of this image? That's fucking me! That's fucking me! I'm fucking her!
You're fucking her?
Listen, things between me and Don Quixote are complicated.
It's true. I shouldn't have asked. When you pull Rose Spanner Workshop rep Rodion, there is a separate part of this image where Don Quixote just vibrates rapidly before it pans over to Rodya. And it is the funniest shit in the world. Every cameo in this picture brings me so much joy. Don Quixote doesn't even actually get a Rose Spanner identity. She's just here as a prop to be excited for the fact that Rodya won a royal straight flush. But you can see, like, the top of Merceau's head being fucking Mike Wazowski'd by her beautiful hair. And then also the shittiest little Gregor with a little paper in his mechanical stupid hand.
It is really stupid looking metal arm. He also doesn't have one of these identities. They just, like,
he
want him
does.
to be
No,
there.
he does.
Wait, he does?
Yeah.
What?
We talked about it last
What?
time.
Wait, what?
He has a Rose Spanner. We talked about how his arm is purpose-built for holding coffee cups.
Wait, that one's a... Wait, what?
That one's a Rose Spanner identity.
That one's a Rose Spanner?
Yeah.
But he's not... Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah,
He's not-
Gregor
he's not-
and
he's
Merceau
not
are the
like-
ones who actually have Rose Spanner identities.
He's not, like, red, so I didn't... He's not rose-colored, so I guess I didn't internalize that.
Yeah, fair enough. He's
Anyway.
not very good, so you don't worry about it.
I do own
Neither
him,
is
but he's not
Merceau.
very good. Yeah.
It's only
But
Rodya.
fucking
I wish they worked well
Rodya.
together. Just a quick couple notes about this image before we really get into it. First of all, look at fucking Rodya's Windows 64-ass desktop. Look at that taskbar. What the fuck is she on? I love her little tiny speakers under her monitor. Like, it's the most... her setup is so clean. Why did they put all those pens and scissors in there? I don't know. They love this image. They wanted to put so much in here. She's sitting in, like, a nice, it's clearly, like, a rolly, office chair, a swivel chair, with, like, that little headrest, but it's also got this wood handle. This wood armrest.
It's made of rosewood, one could say. Probably. It is kind of that nice red.
And, of course, she's just... I can't get over the fucking Windows. Like...
I can't believe that this is the image that confirms for us that
there's
to
the
some
internet
extent,
in the city.
The internet exists, but it might only exist for playing video poker.
On Windows XP.
Windows XP. I like it when you laugh so hard that Discord just starts clipping it out. Because I'm like, I'll get to listen to this later in editing. It's a fun little surprise.
I complimented you very highly earlier, so I can't tell you to shut up, which is unfortunate. I also really like the fluorescent lights in the top of this image. Like, it's such a... They really enjoyed drawing this office, which is just insane how much they enjoyed it.
It's the shittiest fucking office.
It's
the shittiest fucking, like, open concept, like, awful bright uncovered fluorescence. You've just got some fucking assholes standing around in the background. Like, this doesn't, like,
your boss is
like
not working.
Your boss is not working. We keep
It's
putting
clearly- it's
pens
probably
in her little
nighttime.
cup.
It's probably nighttime because the curtains are drawn on the windows.
We keep putting pens in her little cups, implying that she should write some things. No. She's busy.
All of her desk space is taken up by her big-ass monitor that she uses to play video poker.
Yeah. She's got her fucking setup, and that's what matters.
One of your employees has a little metal grabber for a hand and uses it to grab sensitive paperwork, thus poking holes in it. I like her little rose gold belt that she's got going on. Like, she's really... God. We should move on to talking about her. She's really styling. I keep her on this one. I don't move her to the other one.
It's such a simple fit. This just like, this like sort of like rose pink, this sort of dusty rose collared shirt, with these sort of burgundy slacks and this like nice rose gold, rose pink peach. No, pink gold peach. That's what it's called. This pink gold peach metal belt. I couldn't remember the reference to this, so the joke ended up sucking. I'm sorry.
No.
It's funny that they call her pink gold instead of rose gold. That's the joke.
Pink gold
moving
peach.
on. Pink gold peach. It's funny every time.
It is.
But like she's so fucking like they really finally in this season of Limbus Company, they start to understand how to draw boobs.
Oh, they do.
This shirt fits her so well. It like I'm looking at this shirt, and as someone who wears a lot of collared shirts, I'm like, this shit looks so comfy. Like it's so like perfectly fit to her while still leaving like enough space. I really like all the folds. I just love to look at her. I love all the like folds and creases on this shirt, and it clearly like it just fits so well. It's like just baggy enough to give her some breathing room, but still like nice and taut. She's like her pose is so appealing. I'm gonna do her pose. I was watching a friend play some Ace Attorney yesterday, and we started doing every single pose. So I'm gonna do this pose, and it's like, yeah, this is like a power pose. It's so fucking good. I love how comfy she looks. She looks so God, and her like expression is so nice. It's so satisfied. I love that there's little sparkles. There's little, like, not the first time ever. There's like, well, not the first time ever, but they so rarely do this like non-diegetic shit.
Yeah.
They'll do like some action lines.
They
like
do it for. They also do non-diegetic shit for Hong Lu specifically, but not for her. Not for anyone else.
In this one, she's got like a fucking sparkle Instagram filter. Again, this is a thing they do in like other gacha games that are about like pop star idols, and they do it here and it fucking whips. It's so funny. She's just in this shitty little office, but in this moment she's this pop star idol video poker winner. I just keep looking at Don Quixote and being like, yeah, me too, babe.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Also, this identity is good, so it's just fun to celebrate her existence.
Yeah, I even like how Don Quixote's drawn. This jacket looks really nice with its stupid little arm pocket.
I can't tell if she has like a bandage on her cheek or what the hell that is.
Who fucking knows?
Who fucking knows? She doesn't have an identity here, so she's just here to have fun. This image is so good.
I love this image. It's so appealing. It's like, it's just nice. I just like looking at it. I love how kind of like fucked up the video poker. She doesn't even have it in full screen, which is really funny.
I know, you can see her fucking empty recycle bin and her like main disk drive.
Yeah, and all of her just sort of like
empty folders.
Yep.
The fact that they put all this shit on this image makes me so happy. It's unreal. Also, I haven't looked super hard at the interface of this video poker. Is that a guy who looks horrified in the background?
Yes!
Guy clutching his head like, no!
No!
Great.
I like that, like, the fucking, I don't know, it's very blurry and unclear what the fuck is happening in this video poker interface. But they do bother to draw, like, you can clearly see which one is the 10 Jack, Queen, King, Ace, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's actually a royal straight flush. Which is unnecessary. You can just call that shit a royal,
they put, like,
royal
16...
flush. That's what a royal flush is.
They put like 16 mahjong tiles on a table at one point. They don't need to do this shit for us. But they do, and that's
but it's
what
just
matters.
Like, I don't even have strong like compositional feelings about this image. Like I don't know, it doesn't flow terribly well as an image, but I just like that's fine, because every time I look at any part of it, I laugh. I look at Don Quixote and I laugh, and I look at the stupid screen and I laugh, and I look at her and I laugh, and I look at shitty little Gregor and I laugh, and it just makes me so happy.
Ponytail sticking out every which way.
This fucking idiot.
He's got his little thinking hand on his chin, and he can't see his eyes under his glasses.
Fucking Marcel getting absolutely, like, almost intentionally feeling Mike Wazowski, and shit's so funny. And then I look at Rodion, and it just makes me so happy. She's so happy. She looks so comfortable. This shirt looks so comfy. I love, like, I just like a bunch of little details. Her just like the way that they have her, like, fucking holding on to the fucking the arm of this chair, the wooden arm of her
this
desk
swivel chair.
Just like the fingering position is really good. It makes her look really chill and relaxed. But also like a little bit like she might have carpal tunnel.
Oops, whoops. Played too much video poker.
Like,
video poker too close to the sun.
Yeah. Sometimes I play a lot of Mahjong and my right hand starts to hurt a lot.
Wow.
Click, click, click.
Click, click, click.
Anyway, it's just like I fucking love this image.
So just good.
Every part of it makes me so happy.
The Uptide 3 image is less fun to look at, IMO.
It's fine.
It's fine.
They kind of understand how to draw cleavage in this one.
It's better. It's still got this weird curve that doesn't really need to have. But
yeah, I don't understand.
It's fine. There's a truly gratuitous amount of blood in this image, and I kind of adore it. I love that she's driving fucking... This is a big, stupid electric wrench that she's using as her weapon. And she's just, like, driven this guy's head in between the prongs of her big, stupid electric wrench, and she's vibrating his head off. It's super bloody, and also I really like this big yellow gleam. It's something about the green in this image really satisfies me for some reason. And also I earnestly can't tell whether... No, they are. There's supposed to be rose petals just around this image. Why?
Yep.
How?
Beats me. I do like how the rose petals kind of like mirror the confetti dropping on the on the video poker screen.
You're right.
Know?
You can see a little bit of her tattoo, which is always a plus for me in these pictures. I like the way that her coat drapes. I like the way that her outfit in general looks. In this image.
She's still wearing the same colored shirt, but she's got just like a bunch of belts all over her.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I guess that's where she keeps the big electric vibrating wrench.
I guess so.
Her legs are splayed out at an angle which is salacious. I like it.
I understand what her pose is here. Do you?
I do. Okay. And I like it.
Yeah,
I think it looks cool.
She's forward and she's got her front knee bent. Mm-hmm. It's not the most intuitive, but once you understand it, it's like a really nice sort of like forward pose. She's lunged forward into this guy's neck.
Yeah, she's pinned this guy to the ground.
I'm looking at her. Behind her is this like rose pink light,
like,
and these flower petals
happening?
Like shooting out of the door. I like. She's got this fucking like placid fucking smile. She looks kind of out at it, like she's not really focusing. And I like the idea that she's just still thinking about her Royal Straight plush. She's like her fucking story for this one is just like everyone. She's playing video poker all day and she's the boss and everyone's like, please go do your job, and she's like but and video poker, and then she's like, fine, I'll go do my job, but she's still thinking about video poker. We all know it's true. She
really doesn't in her Uptight story, she really talks about like the actual killing people part of her job is like, this is not the fun part. The fun part is playing video poker, and it's like that's not your job either.
The fun part is sitting in my shit office in my really nice chair and playing video poker on my massive fucking LCD screen.
Unfortunately, her battle sprites I don't think are quite as good as either of the actual images in this one, but I do like that you can see the little rose crest on the bottom of her jacket.
I was noticing that. Also, the belts make a little bit more sense once you look at the battle sprite. It's like a shoulder holster thing. I get it.
But she doesn't
I
look as
don't really
happy
know
in
what
this
she's
one.
shoulder holstering. No, she doesn't.
She looks happy in
She's
her
like,
little
"Oh my
guard
God."
sprite, which is funny.
She's got a little kitty cat smile.
She does.
Um,
I love her. She's the best. She's the best Rodya. This is just true.
Oh, I do like in the battle sprite, you can see that she's wearing these like little red low pumps.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's cute.
Let's go, girl.
So many different shades of red. She's making it work.
Let's see, what's next up? Oh, right, it's Vi Association South Section 5, Rodion.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pick this one out from the list?
Yes, but it's only because I'm a freak now.
Yeah, true. Hey, her outfit in this one is buck wild.
Okay, talk me through it.
Well, she's undercover, right? You know, she's like,
Sure.
This is supposed to be her casual clothes. I think it's really funny that she's next to Heathcliff, who is doing an awful job at remaining, you know, chill and cool. Heathcliff is wearing a beat-up jacket and staring at a newspaper under his sunglasses in the most suspicious way anyone has ever done in their lives. Meanwhile, Rodya is just chilling on this park bench. It's the nicest place in the city. Like, I'd like to know where they are in these images, because they've got these, like European beautiful buildings and these, like, beautiful bushes in this park. I don't know where they are in the city. This is the nicest place I've ever seen. Anyway, but to her outfit, she's got this pair of sunglasses on, sort of low so you can see her eyes or looking at something else. She's got, you know, black leather jacket, a long black leather jacket. You can see it bunches up behind her. She's got some slacks, and she's got this white, you know, I can't tell if it's a collared shirt.
It's a collared shirt. You can see the collar.
She's got this white collared shirt, untucked. And then over it is a bodice of some description.
It's like a black leather bodice.
Like a black leather bodice, under which, of course, she has her untucked white collared shirt just, like, spilling out. And it's like, listen, this outfit is great as long as you tuck in the damn shirt, and then I don't even think about the bodice. But, like, the untucked shirt and this insane thing that she's wearing, I don't know how to handle it. Like, what's happening?
This bodice is definitely like, you're just supposed to wear this bodice.
Yeah.
Know? Like, this is she's just got a top over a different top.
Listen, but she's on the job right now.
I guess
she's
so.
Gotta have her white collared shirt on.
Yeah, but she's...
so that she can only show the top 2 aorta of her heart tattoo.
But she's also undercover, so she's got to be wearing some normal people clothes, so she's gotta throw on the black leather bodice.
I think this Vi Association identities are the most fun to look at, because you can tell exactly how good everyone is at wearing normal people clothes. Faust and Ishmael pull it off like nobody else. Sinclair and Don Quixote look great. Don Quixote still looks like a weirdo, but that's just because that's how she is, and she looks like a charming little child. Sinclair just looks like a college student. Faust and Ishmael are having a good day out on the town. I love Ishmael's weird puffy jacket. I don't know what the fuck she's on. But it's a look. I like it. But Gregor and Rodya and Heathcliff are all just, like, Rodya has looks. What's she doing?
Hang on, I'm looking. I forgot how awful Gregor's stupid fucking professor look is.
Gregor's look is awful.
Shit. Holy shit.
Gregor's look is so bad.
Oh man.
Heathcliff isn't... Heathcliff doesn't have it.
He's so stressed.
He's...
Yeah, she just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Why are you even wearing this coat on, like, this day looks too hot for this coat, for real. I guess there's leaves falling. I guess maybe it's
like
fall.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I like that her pants are kind of dirty too.
Yeah.
There's this sort of gradient that looks like she's just sort of like walked through some mud. It's like, what are you doing, girl? What concert are you in line for now? I got no idea.
God.
Girl, where's your clique?
Literally, this is just so bizarre to me. Like, I adore her. I'm glad that... I don't know if... I can't tell if this is the kind of thing that she would wear if she's, like, going out to have a day out. In which case I respect the leather girl, but, like... What? Huh? Baby girl, what? She also looks displeased to be here, so...
I think there's a strong argument that maybe she wanted to wear just the top, but she felt like she couldn't because she was on the job.
Yeah.
I think that I can craft a compelling argument here.
And then her second image is profoundly not compelling and totally has no connection to the first part, which is so sad. This is true of most of the Zvi ones except for Gregor, in which this is one of the only cases in which Gregor has just like a better identity than other people in terms of visuals. You know, they all just I
want her to be wearing the fucking Zvi coat, but still have the stupid top. That's
right?
all I want.
That's all I want. They all move to the, like, cat compound for their second part of this image for some reason. I like the way that her, like, weapon looks while it's smacking down on this guy's head.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't particularly like the way that she looks in either of these pieces of art, and so I keep her on this one for mine, but I don't really have a strong attachment to it, and I could switch it back to the other one, but then I have to think about her weird top. Otherwise I really have nothing to say about this piece of art.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I like the explosion of kind of smear effects line coming off of this guy's exploding head.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sort
explosion
of a fun
of
effect.
Smear effects line is fun. I can see exactly what brushes they used to do that shit.
Yeah, me too. It's almost like it's like computer in a way that they don't often do, which makes it kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Gives the game away a little. I like it.
Yeah. She looks fine. There's nothing especially compelling about this image.
No.
There's like nothing compelling. There's nothing compelling about this image that it doesn't just like that like LCCB Limbus Company.
Yeah, and LCCB
Rodya
isn't better.
Doesn't do LCCB like whips. This one is just like, again, these two, I hate it when why have these two images not connect at all in the slightest. Like, why not have, like, imagine, okay, just imagine.
I'm imagining.
Take this image. Okay, thank you. Take this image, but they're still at the park and she's fucking killing this guy. But she's, you know, she's whatever magical girl transformed into her fucking uniform or whatever. But she's fucking killing this guy, but you've still got these, like, bright blue skies, like, European-ass fucking houses, like, multicolored rose bushes. Like, that shit's compelling. It's a fun follow-through. I guess we have to put her in the Zvi Association outfit, because the Zvi Association is from the Zvi Association is from fucking, you know, Library of Ruinous. We have to have their, like, fucking outfits. I get it, whatever. But, like, imagine if, like, you know, she's dark, like physically, and she's doing a dark action, but behind her is still this like cheery, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
It's something. It's some kind of compelling something. But now we go from image that I think is kind of fun. I like her stupid top, I gotta admit, to just like, oh, it's a picture of a guy killing a guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting in the background. There's nothing especially interesting about her posing. Like, it's perfectly serviceable. I think it's fine. I think her hair looks pretty nice here, but it's nothing, I get the blood is splattering on her, but her hair is protecting her from it. They know how to draw a good image of violence. But it's not a compelling image of violence, Yeah. It's not an image of violence that makes me think about, contrast and things.
Yeah.
She's just like, it's a guy doing a violence that looks pretty good. This is a Library of Ruin, a card art,
Yeah.
For like head bash, 1 to 4 blunt damage, 1 to 4 blunt damage, 1 to 3. No, that's a shit card. It's an early card.
Yeah.
1 to 3 shields.
It's fine, it's early.
Clash, inflict 1 paralysis.
Yeah.
That's what this are. That's what this is.
It's fine.
Uncompelling. That's fine.
I just generally prefer it with all of these identities when either people are like disaffected or unhappy in a compelling way, or they're having a good time. And this is just sort of like the most bored and uncompelling Rodya possible.
Yeah, and there's just like,
criminal combination.
There's like some of these have really good follow through, some of them have whatever follow through. This one has like no follow through. And so it's like not just as a piece of art, but as a pair of as a diptych. It just doesn't work. Which bothers me. I understand this is how gacha games work. You have no idea how much I understand of this, but like it's just like, girl, you're a diptych.
Well, we can look at a better pair of images in
go.
boldly claiming this ahead of time.
Sure.
Diechi Association South Section 4, Rodion. I like to look at her.
Is this... Hang on. First of all, is this woman in the background anyone?
No.
Or is she just like some fucking gal?
She is in the Diechi Identities cameos strictly. She's not anyone as far as I know, but she's in multiple of these Diechi images.
Have we like
met the Diechi? No.
Like ever? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. They're Catholic.
Shoutouts. Maybe they'll be important eventually.
Maybe, and maybe we'll find out who this woman is, but otherwise she's just here to look sternly at the sinners, all of whom are complete losers at doing the thing the Diechi Association is asking them to do. It's, personally, not to skip ahead, but personally I like Diechi, I like the Uptie 3 for this image less, but I do really like this first image for some reason. I don't know, it just makes me happy. I like that she's holding a book which is called A Food for Thought, while she sneaks snacks while pretending to learn at church.
At Fixer Church.
Learning at Fixer Church. Diechi Rodion is really good. I don't have her. And so I don't know a lot about her. It's very sad. I'm always told how good she is and how I should have her and use her for things, but I don't know. I like the way the shadows play in this image. I like the way the light works in this image.
These like windows are... The light on these windows is beautiful.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Just this nice kind of like softly glowing, these like sort of loose beams of light.
Again, these could totally be from Study. Like, this is how a nice chapel with stained glass looks. This woman in the background is just kind of everything to me. Like, literally, who is she? Why is she so upset? I mean, I know why she's so upset, but like...
What's her fucking deal?
What's your fucking deal?
Project Moon, please? 14th sinner, this woman?
14th sinner, this unnamed Dietchi Association fixer?
I want to know her deal.
I want to know so bad.
TBH.
She is!
I like her glasses.
I like the little crumbs
Maybe
on
she's jealous.
Rachel's cheek.
Maybe
she
she's
is
like,
jealous.
man,
it's
some snacks.
Hold on, you can
Maybe
see her
she's
in...
like, man, she's kind of a snack.
You can see her in Dietchi Yisang's art if you go look at him.
Can you?
Yes.
Hang on, let me go find him.
I believe.
Story, characters, scroll down.
Dietchi Association, South Section 6
This
Yisang.
is because I...
Yes, she is in the back of that one as well.
Oh my god! Wait, she's in the back of that one!
Yeah.
Being mean to Rodya!
Being mean to Rodya.
Specifically!
She's not in Honglu's, I think, but she is in both of these.
Such funny follow-through!
It is. I like it a lot.
She just fucking hates Rodya.
She just exists to be mean to Rodya. I don't know what she's on.
She just exists to be mean to Rodya. Damn, girl. What's your problem? God.
Anyway, this, as an expert in religious garb, these vestments that they have the Dietchi Association wear are pretty faithful. I like I like the whole thing that they've got going on. I sort of understand how the Dietchi Association works. Some of them have keys, and some of them have these little necklaces, but either way, they, give them, fighting powers. You know, how it is. I
Knowledge.
can't tell...
The thing is that, shit, no, I forgot the line. Never mind.
Okay, I can't tell what's behind this book in the foreground here. Are these food?
I think so. I think they're little, snack
implication.
cakes. I think they're little snack cakes that she's, hiding with a thick book. And then this woman's looking at her and being like, wait, hang on.
I like the book that's conspicuously held up way too close to and high up to her face. Like, girl, she just looks like she's, done with this lady. I don't... She's not keeping up pretenses so much as she is just I'm blocking you out.
Nope. Blocked. Blocked in real life.
Blocked. Yeah.
It's just this is just a nice image to look at. I don't know, her outlining is really, really thick in this particularly, which makes her look really nice against the lighting. She really stands out. She with this really soft glowy lighting in the background and her being thick outlined, it I think this is kind of, and also just the way she's lit, she has this sort of soft angelic glow to her, which is looks really beautiful. You can see it in especially the top of her hair and her left arm. I know what characters' lefts and rights are.
God,
and,
I
some
hate you
people
so
here.
much.
Well,
you said that just as I was looking up away from my laptop to remember which arm was the left.
And it's just and she's just I don't know, she's doing this sneaky little thing, but she's lit so angelically, and it makes her just look like a cheeky little cherub, she's a little angel. She's a little angel. She's just an innocent little angel. She just wants her little snacks. And it's just so charming and lovely, and the composition's really fun. Again, you can follow the light down and across her, and then follow the line of her arm, up to the book, and then up this woman, and then the woman looks across at her, and it's a nice little circle that tells a little story, and then it takes you a second to find the snack cakes. You only find the snack cakes after you've been looking at the image for a while, because it intentionally doesn't draw attention to them, and you're like, aha, I found them. I'm just like the woman. I'm finding the little illicit snack cakes, and it's just
yeah,
nice little stories through composition, and also just it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a good piece of art. It doesn't even have to be interesting.
Her
it's just well drawn.
Bright blue eyes, just contrasting the warm tones of literally everything else. Girl, the blue of your eyes.
Girl. They're so
Girl.
compelling. And then the
So
outside
compelling.
3 it's a good image. I think it makes her look a little bit too deranged for my taste, which is why I don't like it as much. She's got like this extremely unsettling smirk with like blood smeared across her face, and also she's Catholic. It just freaks me out. But I do love the background of this image in which the light of the chapel is now like moonlight and it's purple. She has this fucking Castlevania thing going on, TBH, where like her white collar looks a little bit sort of cravat-esque, and then she's just, holding up her fists to this person in the night of a dark chapel, and it's like, all right, man.
She's gonna break these. She's gonna break these fucking purple candlesticks and get healing items.
Yeah, exactly.
Get recharges on her use items.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking yeah.
It is like it's a little much for me, but it's very well drawn.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like the glowing of these fucking. Oh my god, what are these called? The shoulder things.
I'm gonna look it up because I've thought this like 5 times in the last 2 months, and I can't be like this anymore. Parts of
You just said you're an expert on religion.
I am, but I never remember this. I've got a reference image up. It is called the...
Waiting with bated breath?
That's not it. Why are you telling me this? No, I know it's not. The stole! That's what it is.
The stole. There we go, people.
Yay.
The stole.
The stole. It is like, I like the design of these guys. I like the difference between... again, not to talk about a different character's identity, but I like Yi-sung's Uptight 3 a lot more, because he's punching you, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world. As, like, he has a very grimly determined expression, is really the only difference between this one and Rodya, where she's going to grab you with her glowing fist, and also she looks like a sadist.
Uh-huh. She looks like she's maybe like pulling back from a punch?
Maybe?
Maybe?
Or she's getting ready to punch. I wish we got to see her punching.
Yeah, she's kind of like it feels like she's doing an intermediate action.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't tell if she's coming back or she's about to go back in. She's clearly hit this guy and his blood is splattered all over her.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah.
It looks a little bit like she's just doing an evil hand pose, which is kind of part of the reason why this image is a little much for me.
Yeah, she looks sort of like, it's, it's pretty in its own way. It's just not as compelling as the last one, which is so compelling. I love to look at it.
Oh.
She's so weird. Why is she so...
She's so
weird. What's with her
weird.
little weird smack? What's with her little smirk?
She's so weird.
She's imagining that this is what she's going to do to the girl who's mean to her. There we go. I'm connecting them.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Of course.
Should we move on to the last one?
The final one. The final Rodya.
It's Liu Association South Section 4 Director Rodion.
Let's fucking go.
She went to Hem Hem Pang Pang!
She went to Hem Hem Pang Pang! Let's go!
She's so happy in this image!
Oh my god. Yet another image in which this shirt looks so comfy.
I know. I like the drapery on this one even more. Like, this material looks really nice.
Like, it really, like, it looks like there's no texture to this shirt, and there's not even, like, a particular... There's, like, the lighting on it isn't even particularly anything. But you can still, like, just both from the style of the shirt and the way it's draped, you can kind of tell that it is this kind of, like, thick silk texture. Just from the
I can
way
feel
it. Falls.
Like, it's good.
And it just, like, fits her This is a real comfy boobs image, just like the other shirt. It's just like, this shirt fits her so well, and it looks so comfy.
Uh-huh. I also want to point out in the bottom right of this image, she's kicking her little leg up because she's real happy. It's very cute. Look at her little boot. Look at her little heel.
Look at her little boot! They've like outlined it in a little bit of glow.
Exactly, so you know it's
it.
her, and not just a background element. This
oh my
image,
gosh, she
I
is
think,
glowing.
She is
so cute.
She's very pleased. This image is like, if you know the fucking Sonic Destruction fan dub, this is the peak of like Shadow the Hedgehog is in a red leather jacket with spikes and a collar, and he's wearing all this shit and gloves, and Silver is in his hoodie. Ishmael looks like she's in her fucking dysphoria jacket. Like, it's the same jacket that Rodya is wearing. She's just got it zipped up. She's like, man.
Yeah. I love that they have officially, like, the fucking Liu Association in Library of Ruina is, like, quite prim and proper. And I love that they have, like, fucking, like, as if they're like a college frat. They have like official like Liu branded fucking hoodies.
Yeah, right? Like little zip up hoodies. Like, what? Why is this a hoodie? Why does it have a hood?
And so like, and yeah, Ishmael looks so fucking, she looks so sad, and she's like,
I think she's mostly meant to be like disappointed in Rodya, but listen, I can't see a transgender person, i.e. Ishmael, in a little zip-up hoodie looking distraught without being like, oh, sorry. Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
I know you're having a bad day.
Yeah. Yep. God, ain't that just how it fucking is?
Ain't that
and
just
she's
how
just
it
like,
is?
she's just like looking at Rodya being so confident and happy, and she's like,
her boobs look so comfortable.
Her boobs look so comfortable, and she's, I get you. There's a bit of like, God, I wish I was her.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I could just like confidently stuff my face in public and still feel like a person.
What is she eating? Is it like a little bit of sandwich?
I think to me it looks like little kind of like fried crab cakes. You know?
That could be it. I thought it was cookies at first. I wish this asset were on the page, but if you look at her fucking, I'm gonna find her, like YouTube introduction video, because there's an extremely cute, like little chibi version of her that comes with when you get her in the, gacha. Liu Association Rodion. There it is. There's the announcement of her. Let me just isolate this little chibi Rodya.
Thank you.
It's so cute. I wish this were on the wiki page. I've sent it to you. It's just, look at the Limbus Company Liu South Section 4 director Rodion Project Moon video, and you'll find it. It's just...
The position of a director ain't nothing special.
We're all like a big happy family.
I love that a thing that they do this for lots of people. But I love both that this and Rose Spanner, they make her the boss so that she can be kind of bad at being the boss, but also be kind of a fun boss, you know?
There's also, hilariously in this video, there's a couple of little chibi items of food which pop up before she does, which I'm also just gonna screenshot for you, because it's just like, this is the type shit she's been up to. Eat a little dumpling, eat a little cookie, eat a little sandwich, be a happy Rodya.
It's the famous ham pang sandwich.
She's ham pang's second biggest fan. Other items of food.
Maybe third. I don't know how Library of Ruina ends. Don't tell me.
That's funny. Me don't tell you? She has,
the audience.
Oh, I see. Oh my god, one of these bags that she's holding says PJM. Alright, Project Moon. She's got little popsicles. She's got like something from a noodle shop in her arms.
Yeah. She's got a little bag from a noodle shop. She's got like that one in along her left elbow. To me looks like a sweets bag. I can't tell you why. It's just kind of like a smaller bag and it's brightly colored, and I feel like that's the kind of thing you would get at a sweets shop.
That makes sense. I like these big sticks of fruit that are at the shop she's just left behind her.
Yeah. This like little street scene, what you can see is so pleasant. The fucking the wooden slatting on these roofs.
Oh yeah, it's really nice
looking. And it's just like, God, I need to go back to talking about her outfit. Because like these fucking like, this is just like great. Even more so than the Rose Spinner one. This is like genuinely a great fucking outfit. Like red, black, brown with like highlights of gold is like, girl,
this is exactly my
know how to do
shit.
it.
I like this big thick this big thick belt area.
Thick-waisted, fucking, like, high-waisted pants she's wearing. Just make her look fantastic.
You can see some of the details on the lower part of the jacket here, but mostly I'm just looking at the little zipper which they've drawn, which just is very pleasant to me.
Yeah, you can see the little Liu detailing at the bottom.
I like her little wristbands.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love that she has like the fucking cuffs of her shirt like folded back and her shirt sleeves slightly rolled up. She just want to be comfy. She looks so comfy and styling. Like this is just like, this to me is like peak Rodya.
Yeah,
this is peak Rodya. She's like having a good time eating some food. Someone's kind of upset at her. She's like being excessive and extravagant in sort of like an almost alarming way. She looks so fucking stylish. It's just like, this is such a good one to end. I mean, there's one more image.
Yeah, unfortunately, the next image is not that good, which makes me really sad. But, you know, we can be brave. I do like all the fire effects in this image. They're everywhere. I like the fire effects that they do with the, Liu images. I would totally, if I had Liu Rodion, I would totally keep her on the uptie one, just because she has, once again, criminally blank-faced expression here.
Yeah, they love to give her this weird, like, blank smile, and it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm like, give her more compelling action expressions, please.
But she does have the nice, actual Liu uniform on here, where they have the, gold detailing on the actual, jacket that's not just a hoodie.
I love the fact that the jacket is, the hoodie has, slightly shittier yellow detailing as opposed to the gold detailing on the jacket.
The actual good thing that we can look at in order to get an idea of her formal uniform is her battle sprite, which I do like a lot. It's got the full,
for some reason.
I know they don't have everything uploaded on this one. I
like the Leo uniform.
It's
this
good.
Jacket's styling. I have a suit jackets that's in the style of one of these. These sort of just kind of open front, no button suit jackets. They're really nice. I really like. It's a style I really like.
It's interesting to see Rodya in a short coat when usually she has long coats on. I don't know. This just really satisfies me. The Liu short coat is nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the gold detailing on the black vest just always makes me happy. Her little fingerless gloves, all right, I see you.
I really like to look at the image again, the big image. I think the shading on it is really nice. It, gives you a strong impression of just how fucking, bright, the fire is. This contrast between the, bright crimson and these, deep shadows, everywhere it doesn't touch. It's nice. The gold looks nice and reflective. It's pleasant. I like the fire detailing that's in these weird sort of streams. These sort of flowing. It's
you can
nice.
see some of the
She's got
smear coming on the left of her hand, some of the smear effects they put on the fire.
Yeah. She's got this fucking martial arts pose because the Liu are all about this kind of fucking airbender ass fire and martial arts shit. I wonder what it is supposed to be specifically. I'm sure they pull from a specific thing. I don't want to say kung fu or anything, but I bet they pull from a specific like a specific Chinese martial art. It looks good. I wish that she as a character was more compelling. I'm mostly just looking at the shadows on her arm and being like, these are nice. But I wish I could look at her face and feel anything.
Well, good
That's
news.
okay,
You
because
can
I can
look
just
at
go look at the
one.
other image. I can just look at the other images. I can feel every positive emotion that's ever existed within my body.
Uh-huh. I also really like to look at, it's pretty funny because Liu Ishmael as a character in her own right has, for one, I think a better Upside 3, but her Upside 1 is not this sad. She's like eating a little, soup and dumplings with the happiest, I mean, she's not like with a happy expression, but it just does seem like a very satisfying meal that she's having. And it's just such a different energy than she's bringing to this image.
Uh-huh.
Like
you can get from one to the other. You can get the idea that listen, boss, can we just sit down and eat some dumplings?
I do you can kind of get the same energy looking at Liu Ishmael's battle sprite idol where she has one hand in her pocket. She's real casual.
Yeah, she's chilling.
She's just chilling. Anyway, it's I love you, Leo Rocha.
I love you, Leo Rocha.
Should we end on our favorite ego?
Happy. Our favorite ego. Yeah, we're not going to go through all the ego because then we will go over time. Not that this podcast has a time limit.
Yeah, but we're 2 hours 30 minutes in. We've been making good time.
2 hours 30. Yeah, we're making good time. So I was just and also a lot of images, 2 images per thing. So I was like, let's just each pick one favorite ego and talk about it briefly.
I'll let you go first.
I think we have different favorites, but the same backup.
It's very funny.
This is what I said before, and let's see if that's true. My favorite is... Wait, can you guess?
No.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. We don't have to play a funny little game, except for Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, which we should play when we're done.
Yes, exactly.
My favorite is Effervescent Corrosion.
This was my backup, actually.
Yeah. I was like, your backup is either the same as my backup or it's my favorite, which is kind of hedging. There's only 6 of these, but my backup was Fourth Match Flame.
That was not mine. We'll get to mine.
Effervescent Corrosion Rodya. I just think that she looks fucking styling.
Yeah, she does. You're right.
I just think this fucking I kind of really love it when they put Rodya in a nice suit.
Yeah, me too.
I love this is me being a lesbian. I love a butch. I love a soft butch. But I also just love a femme in a suit, And they pull this off with Rodya really well, despite maybe not even knowing what I mean by this. Not catering to me per se, but it's just this suit fucking owns. It's really great. I love how weird and textured and crackly
absolutely.
It is. It looks like it would feel awful.
I love these little spurs on the bottom. What is that?
Yeah. She's little, the bottom inside, the bottom lining is lined with fucking eyes.
Not to mention sludge.
Sludge. Oh, we're getting there.
Okay, I'll back off.
Back off. But, she fucking I love this big ass pearl sitting in her cleavage.
Oh yeah.
Just making you look, fucking when you look at a clam, you look at the pearl, and it's the most important thing, and it's the thing that draws your eyes. And so, where is the pearl? It's sitting right on top of her boobs. It's perfect. She's got this little this everything's got this fucked up clam texture that looks awful. But she is wearing it so comfortably. It's this whole thing is shaped like her sort of default.
Yeah, she's even got the big Limbus Company belt.
Yeah. And so we've got this sort of like deep V with the vest. We've got this silly little bow under the fucking pearl.
It's like a
very
bolo
funny.
tie. It's like very odd.
She's wearing this fucking like clam bonnet.
I know. I was going to talk about this because the bonnet looks so weird, but it doesn't bother me.
The bonnet looks so weird, but she's making it work.
She is.
Can make it fucking work. And then her hair like cascades out into fucking sludge and it whips. It whips. They have such a clear I haven't talked about her hair in like literally every image, but they have such a clear like idea of what Rodya's hair looks like, which I really appreciate. You know, the way, like the specific way it is like a bunch of different lengths because it's messy and she doesn't take much care of it. And the specific way that it kind of like waves out in a bunch of kind of like these sort of like thick sort of tentacles of hair that like it's so clear, and to like blend that with this like sludge texture from the thing and have both of those be like so evident is just like really pleasing. And then she's got this big stupid axe that makes no sense but is like made of clamshell and like dripping with sludge along the edge.
I
as
like
if she's like applied a poison effect to it in an MMO.
Well, what I like about this axe, first of all, it looks like there's hinges along it, like not on her original. I don't even know what is up with that. I think it's just sort of part of this sort of metallic texture that goes with the abnormality's legs. But it also looks like the axe is opening to show the fluid, and you can't really tell because it's a flat, you know. It's in profile. You can't see it from the side or anything, but it almost looks like there should be another side to this axe and the goo's emerging from the crack in the middle. I'm looking at her battle sprite a lot. I like that her feet in the battle sprite are covered in sludge. Sludge.
And then in the corrosion sprite, she's just like this kind of fucking shadowy figure sitting on top of the pearl.
Yeah,
it's
good.
cute.
It's good. I like that the top of the clamshell becomes the bonnet becomes the top of the clamshell. You can see the big bow in the back.
I don't even think this is like the most compelling or well-drawn image in the game, but every time I see it, it's so striking to me for some reason.
Yeah.
She just looks so fucking... her outfit is... The more you look at it, the goofier you realize this fucking outfit is, but she just looks so fucking weirdly confident in it.
I love the eyes that line the top of the bonnet. Like, what is she on? I love the idol sprite because she's got her hand on her hip and like her axe slung over one shoulder, like, well, here we are. And I'm like, yes. Kill it.
Get it, girl.
Get it,
All
girl.
right, what's your favorite?
My favorite is Sanguine Desire, Rodya.
Yeah, I know.
It is my favorite because the most recent round of... Hi, everybody. I'm talking to you directly. Let me whisper in your ear. The most recent round of Ego that they released during the Walpurgisnacht event, they were forced to use perspective in these images. And I don't know why they've chosen now to change the way that these images to put extreme perspective in them, but it looks so good. Oh my fucking god. It makes me so happy. This isn't even the one that I go crazy over, but this one has the same energy and has the same appeal as the one I go batshit insane for. You get this high perspective and you can see like her whole body so clearly and easily, and you can still process all of the parts of the outfit. I personally think that I fucking love about this one, weirdly, isn't even Rodya. It's the big ol' shoe coming in on the right that's just like got teeth coming over the feet. And that's the abnormality in this image. So good. I love that she has a big two-sided battle axe. I love these bone textures that are all over this long coat that she has. I love the weird little frills at the top that kind of add to this, like, you know, she's a dancer, she's dancing, that's what the abnormality is about. Whatever the fuck I don't know why the fuck they decided to do her crying blood with black eyes, but like, it whips, I don't care. Her weird, like, spidery bone protrusions from her back, and like, listen, everything is gratuitously covered in blood, I get it, but oh my god, she looks so good, oh my god, she looks so good. Like, can you blame me? The little frills on the sleeves and like this little stupid ascot she's got going on underneath this weird frilled top, and then the way that everything is like rib cage structured, the way that these like protrusions, like the rib cage, fucking come out over her arm. Like, how far are those protruding out? I don't even understand. I don't even get it. It fucking whips. The like little cords that go between the edges of this jacket that she's wearing is so good. Oh god, it's a really well-drawn image, and then it's just gratuitous in the exact way that makes me feel insane.
Ash, I love listening to you talk about art.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the first images this episode that's made you go just like completely insane.
Oh my
and
god,
I love to hear
it's so good. It's so good. I'm looking at the battle sprite and it doesn't quite get the same energy just because they're trying to adapt this like this super, perspectival image into a flat sprite, and so they do fuck up her face a little bit in a way that makes me a little sad. But like you can see the details of the outfit a little bit better. She's so tall. I love her big battle axe. I love axes. We've spoken about this. And then her corrosion is so fucked up. Just spine, ribcage, big protruding bones, this big eye, big loping
she has no
foot.
flesh except for the fucking ankle going into the shoe.
Except for the ankle going into the shoe. Her face is now an axe. The effect of this ego when you actually use it has these like bloody footprints, bloody shoe prints approaching the battle scene from the front, and it makes me very happy.
I like this one. Yes, I agree with everything you've said. I just want to say that I recently have picked up the Babami Corporation again, and I got Red Shoe. And I was kind of disappointed because, like, it's just not as cool as this.
No, it's not. It's way cooler in Ruina, which means by extension it's cooler in Limbus.
There are cool stuff in the there's cool stuff in the Bottom Corporation, but they just like do it so well. They redo like the whole visual aesthetic of this fucking abnormality. And they do it so well, and it's so fucking sick.
I really wish that the Bottom
this
Corporation
just like
had
Castlevania.
these like
Boss ass motherfucker. Castlevania boss ass motherfucker.
I love it.
So sick. You fight her for a while and then she like fucking stabs the axe into her own face and becomes axe face for her second face.
Yes, oh my god.
Fucking sick.
If you want a bonus just to think about, just for me, just look at Wingbeat Ishmael after this. I'm not going to talk about it, because that's not what this episode is about, but they were released at the same time, and, like, god damn.
Me and Ash couldn't stop talking about Wingbeat Ishmael for, like, maybe 2 weeks.
I still can't. Like, you've mentioned it, and I feel it in
like,
my body. I love her so much.
I feel like every day for 2 weeks, one of us was like, have you thought about Wingbeat Ishmael today?
Yes!
And then we were like, yep. Anyway.
That's Rodya.
Rodya. Shoutouts. Love her.
Really not a lot of misses on Rodya. It's just Vi, really.
No. Yeah, it's just what?
It's just Vi that is a miss for me.
And even Vi, yeah. Uptie 1's Vi.
Uptie 1's Vi is perfectly fine.
Yeah. But no, I feel like they just really get Rodya as a character. She is like really strong. I feel like one of the problems with Gregor is that like his strongest visual element is also the thing that they keep changing.
Yeah, it's really rough.
And so it's hard to keep it Gregor in a way. For Rodya, her strongest visual element is like, one, she has a very distinct figure. feel so mildly weird every time I talk about her boobs in this episode.
Tits!
But it's just true. Tits is one, she's of a distinct figure, so as long as she, like, her outfit is playing with that. And then also her fucking hair. Again, I cannot stress enough, just go through all of these again, people who actually look at the images, and just, like, look at her fucking hair, and it looks so good and consistent every time, and this just, like, ties them all together and gives her like a consistent visual element such that they don't have to try very hard to make it look like Rodya in a sense, because the hair carries you and then they can just like have fun with it. This is sort of my theory behind why Rodya looks so good so consistently. She has such a strong, solid visual base. She has very strong fundamental shapes. You know, one on her head and two on her chest. And and thus they can like put her in all sorts of little outfits and have a lot of fun, and she still always looks like Rodya, and it's great.
Yeah.
This is like good character design, and it's not like making her overwrought. It's just like give her really distinct hair and like clear figure, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want, and it's always fucking Rodya. And it's just like such good, solid character design in like a really sort of understated way, honestly. And they have so much fun. They have so much fun. It makes me so happy.
Yay. Yay!
Numbers?
Numbers! Oh my god, I didn't even think about numbers.
Weirdly strong opinions about Rodya numbers.
Oh boy, okay.
This is the opposite of last time, where you had a really weirdly strong Gregor numbers. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you have weirdly strong Rodya numbers.
No, I really haven't thought about it prior to this. I was trying to keep it organic.
Episode, yeah, no, I've thought about it every day for the past like month. This is the curse of doing these sort of like in a set order instead of randomly. I just, I've been thinking about her numbers for a while, and so I would love to hear you talk first before I cut in with my objectively correct opinions.
I'm happy to follow your lead on this one, but cute numbers for Rodya is so hard. She is cute, like, at times. I don't think her main method of like presenting herself as a person in the world is like, look, aren't I so cute? I think her method is, look, aren't I so appealing? But she does have moments of cuteness. She's very cute when she's got her little chubby cheeks stuffing snacks in her face.
Here's how. Sorry.
No, I'm done. Go.
Okay, here's how I've been thinking about it, okay? And we've, now we've been doing this show for a while, and so we have a lot of base to build off on. She's cute. She's, she has her little flirty little Tilda and her little nicknames and stuff. But she's also, like, the most adult woman to have ever adult woman.
Yes.
And so, like, the way I think about Rodya's cute score is, like, when you see a cute mom? When you're on, like, the subway and you see a cute mom?
Yeah.
And like, she's like playing with her baby, she's hanging out, she's wearing a nice fit. She looks a little stressed because she's a mom, but she's a cute mom. She's having a good time with her baby. And it's like, that mom is cute, but that mom is not as cute as the baby, She's not baby cute. She's a cute mom, but she's not baby cute. Rodya is like trying to be cute, but she's also like the most adult woman to ever adult woman. And so I think that, like, I could be argued up from this. And also, like, sometimes she, like, fucking drinks an entire bottle of vodka or beheads a human man in a way that is appealing, but we've sort of passed cute,
Not cute.
She's not doing these things in a cutesy sort of, I think Hong Lu, when he beheads a human man, is kind of cute.
He's beheading a human man cutely.
Yeah, because he's a little baby. But she's like beheading a human man with intent, which is appealing, but it's sort of, she's losing on cute. So I'm going to tentatively pitch 3.
3 is not bad. I was leaning lower, but I think we do a lot of 2s, and so my brain is like, we shouldn't do another 2. But my brain was...
I shouldn't have like tallied all of the numbers we do recently.
It's not even that.
I don't want
just
it
have
to
an
break our brain.
instinctive sense of this.
Yeah, we do a lot of 2s and 5s.
Yeah.
We hate the extremes, and we hate the middle. I don't know why.
But 2 was where I was at. 3, though. I could see it.
I think she's like, I think she's equally cute and not cute.
Yeah.
In that way.
Okay.
She's right in the middle. You can be hanging out with her and then, she's like being real, she's like stuffing her cheeks and she's being nice and she's calling you sweet little nicknames. And then she'll just like take a massive swig of vodka and like burp in your face. And you're like, there's a balance here.
There's a balance here. Okay. I think 3 is perfectly acceptable. Appeal.
Great. But high appeal.
It has to be high. It's not.
She's the only person on the bus with boobs.
It's not a 6, but I think it's a 5.
It can't be a 6 because she's Rodion.
It can't be a 6 because she's a terrible human being. But like, oh my god, would she be fun to go to a party with? Oh my god, does she have kids?
But isn't she a terrible human being?
She's an awful human being.
In such a compelling way, though.
Asterisk, do I believe that she's a terrible human being? I don't know. You just have to read Ivy's Little Fic and mine, and then figure out how we feel from there. She's a 5, like, at least. I don't think she's a 6 because she's Rodion Raskolnikov, but she has to be the highest other than 6.
archiveofourown.org/users/soulmatespod. Follow our official AO3 account.
It doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist all the time. I will have it up in time.
Yep.
Anyway, it'll be in the show notes, as with everything we mention, unless I forget to put it there. And you know what? Me forgetting to put it there because I'm busy playing a little video game while editing instead of focusing, much like Rose Banner Workshop Rodya.
That's cute.
That makes me cute. It's cute. Sorry to tell you.
5? Are we at 5? Did you have more to say?
I'm very good with 5 appealing. No,
okay.
Her whole thing is trying really hard to be appealing, such that she cannot be a 6.
Absolutely.
But absolutely not.
Kinsey Scale, this woman is bisexual. I
have weirdly strong Kinsey Scale opinions.
This woman is bisexual. Reasons include, I have a lot of, I've engaged in a lot of looking at cute ship art of Rodya in my time, because that's my God-given right on this earth. Rodya and Gregor are too good, as a pair for me to, like, budge on the fact that she is a bisexual woman. And also, I really weird, like, there's a lot of good Rodya Yuri out there, and I believe in it, and I believe it. I'm trying to think of... Yes?
It took me a second to remember... I took a beat where I was like, who's Yuri again? And this is because Yuri is a Russian name, and so my brain was like, wait, is that someone
And Yuri is a character from Limbus Company.
Wait, Yuri is a character!
Not what I meant, but she is there.
I forgot about Yuri.
Never forget about Yuri.
Pour one out for Yuri.
Pour one out for Yuri. I can't remember what the pairing was that I was looking at that was like fucking... It was Ryoshu and Rodya and somebody else. And it's like the funniest shit in the world to me. I think about it all the time.
Limbus Company Rodya Yuri. Okay, Google. Please show me Limbus Company.
I know there was also
Yuri.
A span of time in which people did a lot of like Rodya and Ishmael and Otis after a specific scene from, I think, just like a mini story event in which, Rodya was like, let's get you to bed, babushka, about Otis. It's the funniest shit in the world. And then they were like, yeah, okay. Those three women can fuck. Image. You sent me an image? Oh, good. Oh, yeah, I know this artist.
Okay, great.
I know this artist.
It's just some Rodya Ryoshu.
I don't even think they have
art.
that much chemistry. I just think they're, like, they look good together. Anyway, that's a bisexual woman to me.
Yeah. I agree. I think we talked when we were talking about Gregor, and we were talking about the two of them. And we were like, this is a, like, bisexual couple.
Yeah. They're also T for T.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right, and I won't be silenced.
I'm not gonna silence you. I agree. But there is something about, like, and again, this is like a weirdly, like, I relate to Rodya moment. There's something about being, like, this kind of a woman, with this kind of hair and this kind of attitude, who goes to these kinds of parties, and being bisexual, where I think that, like, I think that, like, being for various complicated social things that may or may not exist in the city, but that's not the point. I suspect that she maybe just kind of ends up sleeping with men more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And so I would give her a very earnest, like genuinely engaging with the Kinsey scale and the original intent of the Kinsey scale, which is about activity and not preference. I would give her a very earnest Kinsey scale too.
I agree. I agree firmly. I think you're right. That's a 2-5-2 there.
That motherfucker's a 2-5-2.
We have a lot of
nice
love for 5 and 2.
I know. We need to, like, yeah.
No, we don't.
No, it's all good. Someday we'll have a 6. Someday we'll have a 0.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Okay, yay.
Okay, yay. That's the podcast.
That's the podcast.
Wait, I had a little speech.
Oh.
Hey, so I noticed in our stats that whenever we do a Limbus Company episode, especially because we're doing extra marketing for this one, people come and listen to that episode a lot because a lot of people really like art analysis about Limbus Company, and that's very fair. And, like, I just want to say to you, hey, Limbus Company listener, feel free to, we're gonna do more Limbus Company, so feel free to stick around just for that. We can't do it too fast because we'll just run out of shit to talk about. But I would also like to give you a little pitch. Hey, consider sticking around and listening to our other stuff, even if it's about fucking gacha games that you don't care about. We have, like, a really genuinely good time. Just, like, it's really, listen. You play Limbus Company. You enjoy good art. And it's really interesting to talk about bad art. And it's really interesting to talk about things that are sort of supposed to be bad art because they're from gacha games about big titty anime woman, and actually critically look at them and be like, wait, holy shit, is this good? And it's even better to look at something and have it be complicated and break it down. And it's like, these Limbus Company episodes are a nice little break for us where we get to be mostly just kind of chill and excited about a thing we like. But I think that we do it. People are of the opinion that we make a good podcast, including Ash, in which we just, like, it's just interesting to look at art. And so if you've enjoyed hanging out with us, consider checking out some of our other stuff. And if you're just here for Limbus Company, that's fine too. We'll do more. That's my little pitch.
I love this video game, and I love talking about art, and I love art, and I love the art of Mahjong Soul, a blend of cute, appealing anime girls with classical Japanese mahjong.
And also, this summer, we're going to be looking at the art of, like, a whole bunch of different games. This is my first tease of this on the podcast. This is the thing that we're doing this summer for various complicated real-life reasons. we're going to be looking at the art of a bunch of different games, which will be very exciting with a bunch of different guests. Stick around. Follow the podcast. Follow us on co-host. Use the co-host asks feature to tell us your favorite Rodya.
I do want to know your favorite Rodya. Please actually tell me.
Please actually tell us using the co-host asks feature. Okay, that was
I think.
That was my little pitch. That's all I wanted to say.
Yay!
Yay.
Yippee! I love doing a good episode of the podcast where we have good opinions.
Oh, you mean every episode of the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if we've ever had just a shit opinion. Hey, if we've ever had a shit opinion on this podcast,
just send me on the co-host.
You can let us know using the co-host ask. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh.
이 정도야 뭐. 칭찬은 말보다는 알지?